Yeah, we living in a world where the rules don't apply. They say we gotta follow, but we ready to fly. System got us boxed in, trying to keep us small. But we rise like the phoenix, we ain't scared to brawl. They feeding us lies, but we see through the smoke. We're the voice of the people, we're ready to provoke. They want us to divide, but we're stronger as one. Breaking chains, taking names, yeah, we getting it done. It's us versus the system, we're breaking the mold. Fist in the air, yeah, we taking control. No more silence, no more fear. Together we rise, let them know we're here. Riders ignite. In the world of division, they showed us how to share. But the weight of our sorrows, they never taught us to bear. We split our joys and laughter, but the pain remained untold. A burden we carry alone, a story left untold. They taught us to split everything, but not the heavy pain. It lingers in the shadows, a darkness we can't explain. We're never shattered pieces, trying to mend what's lost. They taught us how to split everything, but not the heavy cost. We learned to divide our dreams and multiply our fears, but the ache in our hearts only grew with passing years. They gave us all the answers, except how to heal. The scars that run so deep means the time can't seal. Yeah, they taught us how to share, but only the good. Smiles and laughter like we understood, but deep down inside there's a storm we hide. Pain in our hearts, we're just trying to ride. Put on a mask, yeah, we play the part, but nobody sees the cracks in the hearts. We share our dreams, the highs and the lows, but when it comes to hurt, we just close the doors. We share the fun times, deflect the pain, laughing in the sunshine, dancing in the rain. But the shadows linger, they creep and they crawl, breaking us down, but we don't share it all. We got hate in our hearts, but we keep concealed. Taught to share the joy, but wounds, they stay unhealed. They say love was easy to divide, but the heartache never subsides. We tried to split everything into two, but the pain lingers strong and true. Shared our dreams, divided our fears, but the sorrow remained through the years. No matter how we tried to let go, the weight of our suffering continued to grow. Now we're apart trying to heal, but some wounds are too deep to conceal. They said splitting up will set us free, yet the pain lingers in you and me. In a world where rules are set in stone, the system's grip tightens, we're not alone. Bound by chains of adjusted greed, against the odds we fight to be free. Mighty forces try to keep us down, but our spirits rise, refusing to drown. Defying norms, breaking through the mold. In this battle of wills, our story is told. As the clash continues day by day, we stand united, come what may. For in this world where rules don't apply, our strength and unity will never die. They try to silence our dreams, but we're loud and clear. With every step forward, conquering fear, they can't hold us back. We're the fire and the flame in this battle for freedom. We're all in the game. They say it's just a game, but we're playing for keeps. With the strength of the many, we're shattered elites. No more puppets on strings, we're cutting the ties. With our eyes on the prize, we're reaching for the skies. So let's stand together, let's break down the walls. In this fight for our future, we'll answer the calls. From the ashes, we'll rise like a storm. Riders ignite, it's us versus the system, and we're ready to fight. They're building walls, but we're digging tunnels. With every step we take, we're shaking the bundles. From the streets to the courts, we're raising our voice. In a world full of noise, we're making the choice. They want to keep us blind, but we see the light. Knowledge is power, and we're ready to fight. From the corners of the city to the walls of the state, where the heartbeat of the struggle can't afford to wait. It's us versus the system, we're breaking the mold. It's in the air, yeah, we're taking control. No more silence, no more fear. Together we rise, let them know we're here. Riders ignite. They taught us to split everything, but not the heavy pain. It lingers in the shadows, a darkness we can't explain. We're left with shattered pieces, trying to mend what's lost. They taught us how to split everything, but not the heavy cost. Now we stand here broken, searching for some light, hoping for a way out of this never-ending night. But through it all, we find strength in each other's embrace. Together we'll face tomorrow and find solace in this space. They say don't bring the drama, keep it all light. But every night I'm fighting these demons in sight. Whispers in my mind, yeah, they echo when they shout. While I'm smiling on the surface, I'm breaking without. We're sharing the laughter, but what's underneath? A battlefield of sorrow, a war with no peace. We're warriors in silence, but nobody knows how the pain that we carry just grows and it grows. In a world of lessons learned, they taught us how to stand and burn. But the scars we hide deep inside are the ones that never subside. We followed all the rules they made, but the emptiness never fades. Their wounds like knives, cutting through even wounds that always grew. They painted pictures of success, but couldn't fix what's left from us. Now we're left to bear the strain of the pain that lingers, never wanes. It's us versus the system, we're breaking the mold. That's in the air, yeah, we're taking control. No more silence, no more fear. Together we rise, let them know we're here. Riders ignite. To remember this moment, remember this face, remember this sound. We're the voice of the future, and we won't back down. In the face of oppression, we'll stand up tall. It's us versus the system, and united we'll fall. Riders show how we unite. I don't get tired of telling people that social media is going to be the death. On this YouTube platform, we can't seem to get along. We have leaders and followers, but the divide is strong. Leaders leading the way, teaching the youth their path, how to be kings and queens, showing by example who can lead the path. I don't hear it's all for clicks and views, emotions running high, hurting and bullying others with no excuse, not taking accountability for their actions, pointing fingers and blame, reflecting on others who they really are. It's all just a game. Here on this app is a different story. Elders acting like children, seeking attention and glory. They forget the values they were supposed to instill. Instead, they spread hate and negativity. Is all a bitter pill. I used to look up to those older than me, but now I see them for who they really be. Lost in their own insecurities and fears, unable to see the damage they caused to those. Never thought I lose respect for so many elders, but here I am feeling disappointed and ashamed. I hold on to the lessons from the true elders I know, and leave behind those who can't let their ego go. In a world where respect is earned, not given, I'll keep my distance from those who are driven by their own selfish desires and need for control. I'll stay true to myself and keep my soul. Never in my life did I think that I would lose respect for so many elders like on this app, but I hold on to the values that were taught to me and continue to strive for respect and integrity. Respect for elders and luxury we give, but some lack morals. How can we live? Demanding respect yet lacking honor, playing the victim, causing drama. The elders I admire, they lead with grace. Their actions speak louder in every case. They don't seek attention or play games. Their wisdom and kindness forever remain. But on this app is a different scene. Elders behaving like children, so mean. Men bashing women, women playing the victim, bringing each other down. It's a sad. Let's learn from the elders to lead with respect, not from those who cause drama and neglect. Let's strive for honor, morals, and grace, and leave behind this toxic childish race. All right, let me welcome everybody to the Writers for Life brings you the Let's Talk About It podcast. I hope everybody is having a blessed and humble day. Continue to have a blessed and humble day. Give me 1 second. All right, did I put the little screen? This is an open panel. Anybody that wishes to come up and chop it up with a shorty. All right, I'm going to put semi-open panel because I'm not just going to let everybody and anybody up, all right? It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on, man. Welcome to Philly, baby. I don't know where y'all watching from, man, but a shorty is from North Philly, yo. We out here. We getting some snow. I think it stopped snowing. It's like light snow out there right now. Listen, a lot of us ain't really see snow like this since we was kids, all right? I'm in my 30s, and I'm like, oh, it's snowing back to back in Philly, huh? So I'm not sure if it's snow. I know that I think if I'm not mistaken, New York, Jersey, all them places got it worse than Philly, though. If I'm not mistaken. But I hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble day, man. We're going to be talking about a lot of things, all right? I was just trying to see if there was anybody up in this joint, all right? But since there isn't, all right, I'm trying to figure out, like, weren't you just live an hour ago, B? Like, listen, I'm gonna be very honest. Over here, we don't deal with the disrespect. I'm not sure where you from, all right? But B, when you call somebody B over here, that means that you're trying to call me a bitch. And I'm not sure if that's what you mean. And if I was live an hour ago, so what? Like I told my normal subscribers, we're gonna do our reviews and reactions. Let's get to it. If you're not a normal subscriber and you're not interested in what we're talking, you don't have to be here. And you know what? As a matter of fact, all right? Let me make it easy for the mofos that think they could just walk into people's channels, all right, and be disrespectful instead of going somewhere and hop on panels. Now, if I was wrong, that's on them. All right, they had more than enough time to type in the chat and be like, I wasn't trying to come on here being disrespectful. None of that, all right? Like, if this content on this channel doesn't draw your attention, because I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea, then guess what? I can help you remove yourself, all right? Because I'm not trying, how can I say, offend anybody or bruise anybody's ego. All right? I ain't your priest. I ain't your mama. And I sure as hell ain't your nanny, all right, to sit here and fucking, how can I say, bandage your bleeding wounds. Go bleed somewhere else, all right? YouTube is a big, big space. Like I said, and I don't get tired of saying it, all right? I come live and I love having conversations with people that can, you know, they have common sense, they can have a conversation, all right? If y'all want to argue, scream, shout, and just have a constant debate where we don't get nowhere, this is not the channel for you, all right? So I'm saying this from the very beginning. This is not the channel for you. So you might as well walk on, because I don't care if I have 3 to 5 people on this drawing. As long as we can have a decent conversation, then we can have a great live. We got Mr. Oates, man, the return of Mr. Oates in the building. Blessings, blessings. How you doing? I don't know what's up with a lot of people. It's like, it's crazy because it goes hand in hand with what we're going to talk about today. All right? It goes hand in hand. It's crazy how people put themselves in places, right, in situations where they feel uncomfortable, right? And the funny part about it is, right, they put themselves in that situation. Didn't nobody invite them. You see where I'm coming from? Whether it's alive or out here in the streets, all right, didn't nobody invite them. It's a problem that we have, right, with the, how can I say it? Motherfuckers want to, how can I say, create this mind your business type of culture in the wrong situations, right? Like when we talk about, you know, the Pastor McNut later on, right? In this conversation, we're going to get into that. But it's funny as shit. Like, yo, dude, ain't nobody, you know, invite you over here. That's not your topic. And all you care about is drama and beef. There's other channels that do that shit. All right. Over here, we converse, we dialogue, we talk. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Welcome to Philadelphia, aka Philadelphia. HP, baby. In HP where my blood runs deep. Not born in Philly but raised in the streets. A shorty from Ponce, Puerto Rico I hail. Taino roots run deep, my heritage won't fail. Indigenous to both lands, I proudly proclaim. America where water and air come at a price. But in HP my heart finds its place. Though it hurts to see what my community has to face. Sometimes I look around, lost in a maze. Questions linger in vain, pause in a haze. People get offended, their egos inflamed. Yet they scream for change, their voices untamed. We seek to make a difference, to break the chains. But anger and offense cloud our noble aims. Opinions are silenced, a disheartening scene. In the HP community where I grew up as a kid, we had nothing but fun. Didn't matter what we did, no matter what we looked like or where we came from. We got along just fine, never felt the need to run. But then a few kids went missing and some loved ones lost their lives due to mistaken identity, confusion and hate that thrives. And I don't know when it all really changed, but I miss the old days when we all had fun and didn't judge. Sometimes I look around, lost in a maze. Questions linger in vain, pause in a haze. People get offended, their egos inflamed. Yet they scream for change, their voices untamed. Looking back in my community, I shake my head. Strings attached to their backs, they're easily led. Waiting for a savior, a puppet master's command. While warriors fight and take a stand. Warriors rise, their spirits unyielding. Fighting for justice, their voice revealing. They offer solutions, paths to a brighter day. Yet met with resistance, they're forced to sway. Now it's about race, who has more and who could take what they want. They say they want change, but really they just want chaos to flaunt. They don't care about the community or the people who live here. They just want to stir up trouble, spread fear and hate, it's clear. Sometimes I look around, lost in a maze. Questions linger in vain, pause in a haze. People get offended, their egos inflamed. Yet they scream for change, their voices untamed. In the depths of my soul, a wish unfolds. To turn back time, a story yet untold. My community, once united, now torn apart. How do we divide, leaving scars in every heart? Our kids like sponges, absorb all they see. Mimicking our actions, following our lead. Young boys and girls, lost in a prison's embrace. Acting gangster, a tragic masquerade. Parents, consumed by laziness, have lost their way. Communications fade, they simply give up. Gun violence escalates, a vicious cycle's grip. Parents and children, now enemies, a bitter flip. Sometimes I look around, lost in a maze. Questions linger in vain, pause in a haze. People get offended, their egos inflamed. Yet they scream for change, their voices untamed. They demand change from their kids, yet fail to lead by example. They stumble, their guiding's weak indeed. In HP, we struggle, we fight for our lives. So let me spit these lyrics, unleashing the truth, letting my words freely glow. For HP is my blood, believe it or not. A shorty from Ponce representing my spot. Sometimes I look around, lost in a maze. Questions linger in vain, Pausing in haze, people get offended, their egos inflamed, yet they scream for change, their voices untamed. Welcome to Philly, baby. HP in the house, baby.
All right, y'all. I had to answer that real quick, man. But listen, man. I don't know. Listen, does everybody's kid got off today? Like, is it just Philadelphia or was it everywhere? Like, I gotta look into the news, all right? Because I really didn't think that Philly was gonna get snow like this. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. All right. I heard some places like in Virginia, school was out because of ice and stuff like that. Over here, I think it's more because of the snow. I mean, it wasn't as bad as the first time it came down. Ooh. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. It's a lot. There's a lot that's been going on, but we're gonna be all over the place today. All right, we're gonna be talking about a lot of different topics. Um, but before we jump into today's madness. Right, let's recap where we left off in part one and part two because everything we've been talking about connects like a puzzle. All right, it connects like a puzzle piece. Like we talked about the school closures, the overcrowding, the erasure of Black history, the move bombing. All right, the disrespect in these community meetings, and how we're shifting into online, the online world where the same patterns show up in different costumes. It is wild how the streets, the schools, the politics, and the internet all mirror each other. Right, the same chaos, the same manipulation, the same lack of accountability, right? Like how many places do we got to see the same behavior before we admit, right? It's a cultural problem, not just online, all right? It's not just an online issue, all right? It is a cultural problem, right? Now, like we done before, right? Like in part one and part two, let's get into this pick a side culture because, babe, people online act like they're running a gang, right? A cult or a reality show, right? They want loyalty from strangers they don't even know in real life. They want you to cut off people, right? They don't even, how can I say it, they don't even like them. They want you to fight battles that aren't yours. And if you don't, how can I say, fall in line, suddenly you're fake, you're disloyal, you're, how can I say, switching up. Nah. I just have my own mind. Let me ask y'all, when did having independent thoughts become, how can I say, a threat to people who can't think for themselves? Right. And the link is down below for anybody, like I said, that wants to come chop it up with a shorty real quick. All right. And I'm gonna say semi-open, all right, because unless we've chatted in the chat. All right, we've talked before. I'm not going to let you up. I'm not just going to let anybody that hasn't been on this channel before. I haven't had conversations in any chat or hasn't had a conversation with me in the chat up on the panel. All right, things go left like that. All right, a lot of people think that they're dictators, that they run people's channels. All right, or that they could sit here and talk to people however the hell they want to talk to them, and that's not how that shit works. All right, not over here. I'll ban you faster than I don't know what. All right, I don't deal with disrespect over here. That shit, boy, for real, for real. We're not going to sit here and babysit egos. All right, and then and then we got the fake victims. All right, the ones who start drama. Throw the rock, hide a hand, and then they hop online crying like they're being haunted by the whole world. All right, they'll lie, manipulate, twist stories, and then act shocked when the truth comes out on some Eddie Guerrero type shit. All right, I lie, I cheat, I steal. Like, come on, man. They want sympathy without accountability. They want attention without honesty. And the internet, rewards it because people love, a sob story more than they love the truth. So tell me this: why do people perform pain instead of healing it? All right, because it's crazy that they'll come online, right? Say certain things, think they could get away with it because they're wounded, right? But then boom, when somebody meets them with that same energy, it's like, oh my God, all hell has broken loose. It's like demons are attacking this person that came online to cry victim. Like, and don't get me started, right, on the family exposures. All right, we've been talking about this, like the ones who drag their mama, their cousin, their siblings, their baby daddies, their whole bloodline for a few, likes and a little clout. I lived that, right, and I've said this on part 1 and part 2. I lived that through my MySpace days, and I outgrew it. But some folks never left that era, right? They'll put their whole family trauma online like it's a clearance sale, and once it's out there, you can't take it back. How do you claim to love your family but treat them like content for strangers? So let's be real about that. You see what I'm saying? Like, people don't understand. I mean, I know some do, but a lot don't understand where I'm coming from. And we got a lot of Disney characters, right? Whew. Grown adults acting like Peter Pan, refusing to grow up. Tinkerbells who need constant applause, to feel relevant. Villains who think they're, misunderstood geniuses. It's like watching a theme park melt down in real time, right? People performing instead of living, people acting instead of, healing, people creating storylines instead of facing reality. And I'm sitting here like, baby, this isn't, this ain't Neverland. This is the internet. Why do grown adults need fantasy roles to feel so important? It, you know, as a kid or growing up, I would have never even thought about, the world being like this. Was I expecting the Jetsons, all right, era? Yeah. I mean, a lot of us knew that when we was older, we was gonna have a whole lot of different technology. At that point, we didn't know that it already existed. You see where I'm coming from? But now that we're older and we've done research, we're like, man, this shit has been here before. It's just, how can I say, given to us in a different form, in a different way. All right. And you know what's crazy? Then we got these, so-called trolls, the chaos creators, the ones who wake up every day choosing violence from behind the screen. Right? They don't want peace. They want solutions, right? According to them. They don't, my bad, I said that wrong. They don't want peace. They don't want solutions according to them. All right. They don't want growth. Right? They want what they want, right? According to them is a reaction, right? They want reactions. They want chaos. They want, to feel powerful in the only place they have power, right? The comment sections, or coming online, calling themselves trolls, bugging people, bothering people, to the point someone comes back, right, and boom, bops them inside their head, outside their skull, right? Now they come crying. Now they victims. But the truth is, trolls don't have real influence, right? They have unhealed wounds. Why do people give trolls more attention than, they give themselves? And that's why I say I block easy. Over here, if you coming in here thinking that you a troll, thinking that you're gonna come on here start some shit, all right, or how can I say, get someone off their hinges, you're on the wrong platform and the wrong channel. Over here, we bring awareness, we motivate, we inspire. All right, I feel as though we need more poetry. All right, but not everybody's into poetry. A lot of people are more into music and stuff like that. But if we could get more people that are influential in the music shit, we need some of that. And since we touching on everything today, right? Because I'm not gonna come on. I mean, if I do come on, I'm gonna do like little pop up, like little pop ups, right? But I'm not gonna really do reviews and reactions for a good little minute because I gotta really finish this book. I'm on the last one right now, and I'm also working on my, how can I say, you could kind of say like like little, it's like a little, how can I say, autobiography, like a little documentary. I don't know how to explain it, right? In the book, this book is basically how I grew up, how I overcame my obstacles in life and stuff like that, right? And it's gonna hopefully it inspires and motivates the next generation, right, of young ladies, young men, and stuff like that. Like, that's the whole point of it. So, I'm really trying to work on that. I want to give a shout out while I'm talking right now, right, to those that have been supporting me buying my first poetry book. I mean, the book is okay. I like it, right? I love the poems I put in there. That I love the most. But I'm gonna try to see if I can get a little more better with this, right? Turn it into chapters, make it kind of like a story type thing. All right. So these two books are going to be a little different from the first one, but it's just nothing but a collection of poetry to inspire people. All right, if you can relate, you can relate. And if you don't, you don't. But look, listen. Since we're, talking about everything today, let's talk about, GLORILLA and what is it, BRORILLA? All right, the GLORILLA, I think I'm saying it right. GLORILLA and BRORILLA situation, right? Not the gossip, but the pattern. All right, the way people hype up drama, twist narratives, all right, pick sides and turn real people into characters for entertainment. We're not talking about that. All right? Like, folks forget that these are human beings, right, with real lives, real emotions, real consequences. The internet turns everything into a spectacle, and people forget respect and dignity in the process. When did we stop seeing people as people and start, how can I say, seeing them as episodes, as like telenovelas? And that's probably because of the way people come on here, bring themselves, carry themselves. Man, I think some people bring certain things on themselves, right? We got to cut that shit down the middle. At the end of the day, everything we're talking about, the size, the fake victims, the trolls, the family exposures, the Disney character, it all comes down to, one thing: people running from themselves. It's easier to perform than to heal, easier to blame than, to reflect, easier to pick a side than to, how can I say, stand alone. But I'm not here for the performance. I'm here for the truth. I'm here for the growth. I'm here for, the conversations that actually mean something. Right? Are you here to evolve, or are you here to entertain strangers? Like, and this is a question I'm asking everybody, right? Are y'all here to evolve, or are y'all here to entertain, strangers who don't even know your real name at the end of the day, right? So today we're going to be talking about a lot, because life, life has been life, and social media has been, social media, right? And Philly's been Philly. We touching family drama, all right, exposure culture, GLORILLA, BRORILLA, trolls, fake victims, and even Pastor mcnut and the junior situation, because everything happening online and offline, whether people like it or not, is connected. All right, some people say it's just YouTube, and it is to some people. All right, some people can come on this John, get on this John, and get off this John and forget that the things that they did, somebody could have said or did to other people, probably affected their lives. All right, and not in a good way. Sometimes in a real fucked up, messed up way. So my thing is, right, the chaos, the clout, right, the clout chasing, the lack of accountability, the way people hide behind titles, apps, and how can I say, personas. That's wild. And even if I don't watch it and I don't bring it into my algorithm, that shit still comes to me offline sometimes. It's crazy as it sounds, right? Because I have conversations. We have real life conversations out here. I've been on live, right? And I've shown people what we talk about here, the meetings, all that stuff, the events and all that, right? And it is kind of like lately, a lot of people have been bringing the conversations about certain things that do happen online, right? When it comes to, like, the Pastor mcnut or the BRORILLA and GLORILLA situation. Why? Because, like, those situations, those are like topics, like right now, why I chose to, speak on them, because we can relate to them within our own communities. And things like this happen within our own communities that don't get talked about. All right. So, right. The crazy part about it is, right, I hear so many people say I'm tired of watching it, right? But it's crazy because folks pretend like, they don't see what's going on. I mean, I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of, hearing about it. But how do we, resolve the issue? It's a question that can't nobody even bring a solution to the table for. So let me ask you, how many red flags do we need before we admit the whole environment is toxic? Everything around us is toxic. Like, it's crazy because it's to the point where people try to come in and help, and they have to, how can I say, sway. They get swayed. And it's even hard to talk about. And since I'm talking to myself, right, I ain't talking to nobody. I'm gonna just keep saying what I gotta say, get everything off my chest, and I'm, into the mic, right, and show y'all some videos and stuff if I can. If not, hey, I'm gonna try to be on this John the longest 2 hours. All right, 2 hours and a half the most, because I'm gonna see if y'all want to come up. But panel is open. It's crazy because when I don't open the panels, right, people want me to drop the link, and I feel as though on these topics, I can drop the link. Let's have a conversation about this. You see where I'm coming from? But the link is dropped. All right, but let's start with this family drama and exposure culture. All right, because baby, people will expose their own blood. all right, for a few likes and a little attention. All right, they'll drag their mama, their cousin, their siblings, their baby daddy, anybody just to get a moment of spotlight. And the wild part is they swear they're keeping it real. Right? Nah, baby, nah. Like you're keeping it, how can I say messy? You're keeping it immature. You're keeping it, to some people embarrassing. Right? I lived through that, right? In my MySpace days, once again, right? My early Facebook days. And I outgrew that. Some people are still stuck there. Like when did clout become more valuable than family? Because what's crazy is that, I decided to take myself out of that toxic, situation. And at times I find myself back in it, but it's like, no, 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 no. Now I can say, stop right there. Hold up, back up, go this way. All right, online and offline. Online and offline. All right. And then, we got the gorilla and brorilla situation. Right? Not even the drama itself, but the way the internet reacts. People don't want truth. They want teams. All right. They don't want facts. They want sides. They don't want understanding. They want entertainment. Folks will, twist a whole situation just to feel like they're part of something. They'll hype it up, add fuel, create narratives, and then act confused when things get, out of hand. So tell me this. Why does the internet treat real people like characters, right, in a show they're directing? Because you know what does get, real viral, real popular? What people, how can I say, share, like, and comment on the most. They say they want more positivity and more, how can I say, inspiration, right? Well, you got channels out here trying to do that and bring awareness and bring conversations. I'm not just the only one. And I've noticed how people say, they'll come in a few seconds and then they'll leave because what draws their attention is the drama. And listen, and speaking of characters, let's talk about grown adults acting like Disney, like a Disney cast, like Disney cast members. I'm talking full blown Peter Pans, all right, who refuse to grow up, Tinkerbells who need constant applause to stay glowing, and the villains who, think they're misunderstood masterminds. I'm like watching a theme park meltdown in real time. People performing instead of healing, people acting instead of reflecting, people creating storylines instead of, how can I say, facing the reality. Why do so many adults need fantasy roles to feel important? And I don't get tired of asking that question. Right. And then we got the fake victims, the butterflies in cocoons that will never blossom because they don't want growth. They want attention. They start drama, stir the pot, right? Throw the rock, hide the hand, and then hop online crying, right? The whole world is against them. Then weaponize their pain instead of healing it. They want sympathy without accountability, and the internet rewards it because love. Like I said earlier, they love a sob story. They love it more than they love, the truth. I don't know. I don't know why people, perform pain instead of doing the work, to heal. It's like they're expecting for someone else to put a bandage on their wound. And let's not forget the trolls, right? Like we was talking about them, we call them the chaos creators, right? The ones who, wake up every day choosing violence behind a screen. They don't want peace. They don't want solutions. They don't want growth. They want reactions. They want, to feel powerful in the only place that they have power, right? Behind a screen, behind a keyboard, right? The comment section. And the sad part is some content creators, feed off of it. They let trolls run their platforms because drama brings views. But views don't bring dignity. Why do people give trolls more attention than they give themselves? That I don't understand. Let's talk Pastor McNutt real quick, all right? I hate saying his last name. Pastor McNutt and Jr. Because according to reports, they removed him from, the home. And I'm glad they did. But let's be real. All right. It ain't just, pastors, how can I say, harming children. It ain't just, people in robes. It ain't just people behind pulpits, all right? It's people hiding behind power. Pastors, teachers, coaches, neighbors, family members. Anybody who thinks a title protects them. And the community stays quiet until it's too late. Why do people let, titles blind them, right? To the truth. To the truth about behavior. At the end of the day, right, everything we're talking about, the family drama, the exposures, culture, fake victims, the trolls, the predators, right, hiding behind power, it all comes down to respect and dignity. Respect for yourself, respect for your family, respect for the truth, respect for the community, and dignity. All right. And how you move, how you speak, how you show up. Because the internet might be, undefeated, but so is karma. Are we ready to move with dignity, or are we going to keep letting chaos run the show? People say they want change, but it's like they feed chaos and toxicity. But maybe I could be tripping. All right. So before we get into the gorilla, all right, give me 1 second, because I want to see how many videos I got. We might end up reacting to the Brorilla interview. All right. And when I come back from from me doing what I got to do, finishing my book and all that, then we might get, into the GLORILLA situation or something new. But we're going to talk about it now. All right. Because I know that I'm going to need like another month to get this joint popping. All right. We do got the Writers for Life book and hoodie giveaway. All right. Scheduled for April 25th, if I'm not mistaken. All right. So we do got it scheduled. I was going to do it for March, but that's my fiance's, birthday month. I gotta give my attention to him. All right, he's gotta have all my attention, not you two. I gotta dedicate, a few weeks to him. Yep, because his birthday's coming right up. But yeah, man, we do got the giveaway scheduled for April 25th. I want to say thank you to all those that have been rocking out and supporting me, man. They have been sharing the videos, have been having conversations with a shorty, have been, commenting on the videos and more. All right. And those will be the people, right? Because shout out to Yaya, all right? Like, Yaya put me on how to deal with this little YouTube studio. So now that, I know who is who that support in a shorty like that, I could put, all these names into the little the little wheel thing that spins, right? And picks the names and stuff like that. All right. So we definitely going to do that. And I'm going to see, hopefully we could do it on that same day. We're going to do the money giveaway. All right. And that's my appreciation to all those that have been, members, that have been subscribers, that have been sharing the videos, that have been here rocking out with a shorty, bringing awareness. All right. It is my time to give back to those that are really, really rocking out. So I appreciate y'all, like I said. So give me 1 second. All right. I'm going to see if I got some other, I'm going to see where I put the Brorilla video. I got it on a little playlist. So give me 1 second.
In the old days, love was pure and true. Now it's just a show for all to view. People use it for their own gain, leaving hearts in sorrow and pain. Once a sacred bond, now just a game. Hearts are broken, never quite the same. Love used to be a beacon bright, now it's lost in the shadows of the night. Oh, how we long for those days of yore, when love was honest forevermore. But now it's twisted, tainted and cruel, leaving us drowning in an endless pool. What can we do? In the spiritual world, all seems bright, but shadows lurk in the dead of night. Half of humanity wears a wicked guise, evil deeds hidden behind virtuous eyes. Beneath the surface, a darkness lies, masks of deceit veiling their lies. In this realm where good and evil collide, the line between them is blurred, hard to decide. So tread carefully in this world so grand, for not all that glitters is gold in the sand. In the spiritual realm where illusions endure, evil and good dance in eternal obscure. Just imagine that. Karma doesn't ask you how you want it. It just comes and take it. So be careful how you treat others on your way up the ladder, because your way down, trust me. In a world of empty stares, fake love fills the air. Sincerity's distant glare, leaving hearts in deep despair. Truth is lost in a web of lies, hiding behind deceitful eyes. Love that fades and slowly dies, leaving us with heavy sighs. Aching souls in a loveless land, yearning for a genuine hand, but fake love rules with cruel demand, leaving us to understand. In this age of like and retweets, we've forgotten what real love truly means. It's not just about show and tell, but a feeling that makes our hearts swell. It's hard to know who's true and who's fake in a world where appearances are hard to shake. But real love is deeper than a profile pic. It's in the way that someone makes your soul click. So let's not get lost in the digital haze. Let's remember what real love truly conveys. It's not about followers or online fame, but a connection that sets our hearts aflame. In this world of make-believe, they all wear a smile, But behind the scenes, it's just the clever guys, puppets in their show, dancing in their stage. We're all just pieces of their charade. Beneath their mask of joy lies the tangled web, where secrets and deceits are carefully bred. Their lovey-dovey act is just for display. We're all caught up in their twisted play. So let's break free from this illusion so grand and see through the facade with hearts unplanned. No longer pawns in their game of charade. Let's find our own path and not be swayed. I feel like I'm surrounded with people with strings attached to their back, waiting for their master's command. It's like when I was little, right, and I was reading Pinocchio. Every time that he told a lie, his nose grew. It's just that, in real life, their noses don't grow. Karma just catches. In the shadows we see a love so pure and meek, but all that's left is a ghostly echo, a memory bleak, longing for a bond that's true in this world so cold and weak, yearning for the love we knew before the all turned antique, lost in illusions of affection, fleeting like the mist, hollow hearts yearn for connection, any realm dismissed, seeking solace in echoes of the past where love truly exists, but all we find are mere reflections of what loved ones kissed. Amidst the ruins of our hearts, we search for something real, yet all we grasp are faded echoes of what used to appeal in this world where love has become just a commodity to steal. It's just a little food for thought. All right, so like I said, let's talk about this GLORILLA and BRORILLA situation because I've had a lot of people who's been asking my opinion, like I'm a spokesperson for common sense, and honestly, what I think we all go through all these, how can I say, we all go through what these two sisters are going through. Maybe not on their level, maybe not worth the whole internet watching, but the dynamic, the drama, the back and forth, baby, that's universal. But do I expect people in their 20s, 30s, 40s still doing this type of stuff? Absolutely not. At the same, how can I say, at some point you gotta, outgrow the chaos. So, how old do we gotta be before, how can I say, we stop repeating the same cycles we claim we're tired of? All right. And how can I say? Let me say something real. None of us can control anybody's life. People gonna do, all right, what they want to do, even when it's messy, even when it's embarrassing, all right, even when, how can I say, it's self-destructive. All right, you can give advice, you can give warnings, you can give love, but you can't give maturity. That part comes within, and that's why I don't judge them. All right, I just don't agree with the whole behavior. Like, why do we expect to act grown when they haven't, how can I say, grown yet? Some people haven't even fully matured yet. Not physically, not mentally, all right, not spiritually, not sexually. All right. See, the last time I had any type, how can I say, a family drama online was on my MySpace, right? In early Facebook days, like I said earlier. And baby, when I saw my, early Facebook, I mean, when the app still had that ugly blue layout and people were how can I say, poking each other, poke, poke, for no reason. I was like 16 when MySpace disappeared. All right. And even then, all right, I knew some things didn't belong online. But now folks will live stream their trauma, like it's a series premiere. All right. Why do people treat the internet like a diary when the whole world is reading it? But you know what? You can't tell people what to do. Right? And let me be honest. I barely even be on Facebook now because that's all they do. Drama, 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 family drama. Right? Friend drama, neighborhood drama. People arguing with people they don't, how can I say, they ain't see in 10 years. Folks exposing each other like they're getting paid per secret. All right? And I had to take a step back because, I realized that's not, how can I say, the life I want. That's not the energy I want. All right. That's not the legacy I want my kids to see. All right. How many times do we have to watch the same chaos before we choose peace instead? I cut off a lot of friends and family because they didn't grow up. All right. They, how can I say, they wanted what they wanted when they wanted it. And, screw everybody else. They wanted attention, not accountability. They wanted drama, not healing. They wanted to, stay stuck. And I refuse to stay stuck with them. All right. Growth requires separation sometimes. And that separation hurts.
But staying in dysfunction hurts worse. Why do we hold on to people, who refuse to grow when, they know they're holding us back? I mean, I guess some people, I guess some people got to learn their lesson like I did. God will take you, if you have a purpose, God will take from you what's holding you back in order for you to see where the growth is at. But a lot of people not see, some people's not going to understand what I'm saying because they're not ready to receive it. And that's why, I look at situations like GLORILLA and BRORILLA and I don't judge. All right. I can joke around and stuff like that. We all do it. All right. I just recognize the pattern. Because when you're surrounded by people who don't want to grow, you get dragged into cycles you already outgrew. You get pulled back into habits you left behind. You get sucked into drama you didn't ask for. All right. And that's why boundaries matter. How many times do we let people pull us backwards before, we finally say enough is enough? And let's be real. All right. When you have kids, the stakes change. You can't be out here acting like you're still 16 on MySpace. You can't be exposing your family, fighting online, dragging people, or entertaining chaos. All right. Your kids are watching. Your kids are learning. Your kids are, how can I say, absorbing everything. And I refuse to let my children grow up thinking that dysfunction is normal. What example are we setting when we choose drama over growth? I was told lead by example. That's why, listen, I don't bump, listen. I know that a lot of us women can't be in the same room, for a long period of time, right? Because chaos erupts. But one thing I could sit here and tell you is that I could sit here and have conversations with grown women, right? Online, I've bumped my heads with just 3 females. All right, we're going to call them females because they're not women. To me, they're liliths in disguise, to not say the B word. All right. But you can have a conversation with a woman. You can't have a conversation with a lilith in disguise. All right. But a lot of these old heads online have shown me like, damn, you're not an OG. You're not an old head. You want me to respect you like one, but you carry yourself worse than my 9-year-old, my 9-year-old sister did at one point. Like worse than my, 8-year-old self at one point. Shit. And I carried myself good, man. I cooked, I cleaned, I washed dishes. Shit, I was already babysitting and getting paid. Like snap, man. At the end of the day, all right, the GLORILLA and BRORILLA situation is just a reminder that growth is a choice. Maturity is a choice. Peace, all right. Peace of mind, all right. Peace in the atmosphere is a choice. And some people ain't ready to choose it yet. But me, I chose it. I choose, to step out of the drama. I choose to cut off the chaos. I choose to protect my peace. And I hope more people get there because, life's too short to keep repeating the same storylines. All right. Like, are you choosing growth today? Or are you choosing the same old cycle you said you were done with? All right. Like, let me see. I don't feel like putting this on all the chats. So I'm going to ask a question, right? And then I'm going to type it in the chat real quick. All right. Oh, snap. We got MTGV. What is this? It's not Black History Month. You cannot stream at this time. What? Oh, we got someone else we got to block. Oh. Bye. See, when my moderators, do this to y'all, they're only able to put y'all on timeout. Me? Ban the shit out of y'all. If I'm just talking out my ass, right, and I'm not trying to find no solutions, why are you here? Oh, see, all the trolls are leaving now. Bye. Go find a fucking rainbow to hop on and get the fuck out my face, yo. Just because I could talk properly, right? Just because I could be professional, don't mean that the hood is not in me, all right? It's in me. Listen, I ain't never forget where I came from or where I grew up at. And I know exactly who to get disrespectful with. All right? If you ain't gained that respect from me, don't expect no respect from me. On some real shit. Find a motherfucking rainbow to hop on, all right? Figure out which cloud you can be cozy in, right? Shit, cloud hopping and rainbow hopping. I'm not sure which one you is right now. Cloud hopper or rainbow hopper? Hola. But we got Miss V in the building, MTGV Crime Podcast in the building. Thank you. I appreciate the $2 sticker. All right, shout out to Miss V. Make sure y'all go check her out. All right. It she said idiots. I'm dead. Miss V funny as shit. Nah, man, I was just talking about that earlier. I don't understand why people, right, come in places where they feel uncomfortable, where they feel, how can I say, not safe, right? Like, dude, man, the internet is not a safe space. We all gonna speak our mind. And if you don't like what I'm saying, well, then get listen, the door's right there, right? Just make sure the doorknob doesn't hit you with a gun or split you. Some people just want that. I don't know. They want that. How can I say? People to drag them and come at them. I'm not in the mood today. I'm real positive today. I don't feel like scooping down to other people's levels. All right. If y'all feel miserable, like I said, go find a cloud you could be cozy in. All right. If you can't figure out what you are in life and who you are, if you're a he, she, what the fuck you are, an animal. All right. Go find a rainbow to hop on. See if you could taste the goddamn Skittles. All right? Real shit. Hola, ¿cómo estás, mi amor? Let me get real Mexican right here. ¿Cómo estás, mi amor? Let me stop. Yo, people be out of pocket, yo. But make sure y'all go check out Miss V. All right, great conversations, great topics. She be doing a lot of crime podcasts. All right, I love her channel. You will not be disappointed. Make sure y'all go check her out. All right, but let me ask y'all this question. All right, back on topic. Before we play this video with the GLORILLA situation, she did an interview. All right, and this is what where the a lot of this lashback is coming from for these two sisters. All right, I guess, but before we play this video, let me just say, right, I don't agree with what's being done, but unfortunately, people do this, all right? So, what's the real lesson from the GLORILLA and BRORILLA situation? I don't know why they chose these names, but is it, some people never outgrow drama? Like, you can't save people who don't want growth. Could it be boundaries are necessary even with family, or all of the above? All right. So let's get right into this BRORILLA and GLORILLA situation. Oh, nope, right there. There we go. So it seems like she did an interview with, I don't even know who Skim Bone is, but she did it with him. All right. Shout out to the people that sent me these videos. I appreciate y'all. But let's get this drone started.
She been going viral.
So before he says anything, right? According to people, right, they're saying that this sister right here is the older sister of GLORILLA, right? The rapper, the shorty that's known for Tubi movies and rapping, right? I don't know much about her because she ain't Dej Loaf. All right. She ain't no Dej Loaf. But a lot of people like her. All right. They like her style. They like her music. Me, I personally cannot relate, to a lot of these upcoming female rappers or male rappers at all. All right. Like, I'm not going to sit here and lie. Now, I've done a little bit of research, right, on GLORILLA. I still don't like her music. I've heard it, and I'm not going to lie. I don't like her music. Point blank, period. She ain't no Dej Loaf. She ain't no Foxy. She ain't no Eve. She ain't no Queen Latifah. Like, I don't know. It's like, to me, her music sucks. But hey, to each his own, all right? Like, she does do some good Tubi movies. Now, I gotta give her credit on the Tubi movies, all right? I love movies. I'm a movie fanatic. Now, she could do some movies. She could be a good character. But other than that, for me, all right, for the people that like her style of music, kudos. But me personally, I don't know. I don't know what's up with today's rap. Today's music ain't music. But let's go.
Yesterday, who am I here with?
Scarface.
Scarface. And if you don't know Scarface, you know who the hell Scarface is. If you squint at her. Bald head GLORILLA. This is GLORILLA's sister, y'all. And she been going viral on the internet because she feel some type of way about her sibling, and she just been letting it all out on the internet. So now she here, because, you know, when you mad, you just be going crazy, you know, but now we going to dissect the issues. See, I'm going to start using y'all Memphis country issues. So, how you doing? How you feeling?
Man, you know what I'm saying? I'm really, the feeling kind of good right now, just a little bit, you know what I mean?
You feeling good?
Yeah, I'm feeling nice.
That's good. That's good. So what's up, man? Like what you just blew up on the internet in a week?
But see, I really wasn't trying to though.
Yeah.
I was just trying to get a point across. Little point.
What was the point?
I'm obligated. That's the point.
You obligated to, you really think you obligated to your sister money?
Yeah, why I'm not?
What you do for her to get the money?
Laid on the floor with her. The rats and the roaches.
Ass to ass or feet to head?
There. She says she's obligated because she laid on the floor with her sister, man. Listen, just because you laid on the floor in a house with roaches and rats, you're not obligated to what your sibling has earned, right? Off their, how can I say, hard work money. Like, what the hell? Wait a minute, hold up. She said, I'm obligated. My sister owed me because we got brought up together. Hold on, wait a minute. Your sister ain't ask your mama to bring her into this world.
That's just like if she got pregnant, you want to help take care of the baby?
Right? Like, hold up, wait a minute. She said, my sister obligated. Listen, none of my siblings are obligated to give me what they've worked for. You see, shit, if it was like that, look, listen, man, y'all obligated to come and pay my, how can I say, the taxes of my house and all my bills. Like, what? How did it sound? And I'm the oldest. All right, and even if I wasn't the oldest, all right, like, unless you've been there, right, unless you, how can I say, unless you was there, right, rocking out with her, supporting her, working with her, pitching in, putting something in, then that's a different story. But because y'all grew up together in a house infested of rodents and roaches, come on, let's be real. Some of us grew up like that. And we not out here asking auntie and uncles and cousins like, yo, you obligated to give me this, money that you just earned this month off your paycheck for whatever the, reason is. Like, is you serious? Because we grew up together? I feel like this is a play. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I'm not sure, but it could be, look, listen, this could be a play. All right, we don't know what's really going on behind closed doors.
She pissed in the bed and blamed it on me. And I got a whooping for it.
You got a whooping for peeing?
I'm dead.
She peed, I got a whooping for it.
Well, how old y'all was though?
She probably like around 12. She was like 6 or 7.
So they really thought your grown 12 ass was pissing.
Hey man, she make everything sound believable.
I'm dead.
So because you
Man, listen, always the youngest sibling always gets away with what they want to get away with. I mean, I don't know. That's just a repeated cycle that I don't think anybody could break on some real shit. For some reason, the youngest ones are always getting away with everything.
You got a little pee on your ankle, you deserve some of her money.
But she was a strong pisser.
She was a strong pisser. I can't. Wait a minute.
So shit. It was believable when both of us come in there wet, so I'm finna whoop both y'all ass. I mean.
But you say she didn't get her ass whooped. It was you. Hold up. Wait a minute. So who got the ass whooped? Both of y'all or just you? See, this is what I'm saying. I think this is a skit.
But because he was younger, she probably got like a little tap. You got it.
Nah, both of us got beat. I ain't gonna lie. But shit, I wasn't supposed to get beat with her though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
So, So yeah, I'm obligated.
I mean, I wouldn't say the word obligated, but I should feel like
Why you feel like
comfortable. Like you should be comfortable. Why you feel like you're not comfortable? You don't get nothing? Zero?
Nothing at all.
Why you think like, wait, first of all, how many siblings is it?
10.
It's 10 of y'all.
Yes.
10 of y'all from your mama or both sides?
Mama and dad, 10 siblings.
Are they both the kids together? Same mama, same daddy?
10.
Yo, mommy and daddy was busy back in the day to have 10 kids like that, yo. Snap. And you know what's crazy? They didn't step up. Well, I don't know if they did or not. But shit, according to her, mommy and daddy, all 10 kids together, they from the same mom, from the same dad. They was awfully busy. Was they working? God damn. Shit, this wasn't in the 60s, all right, or the 50s. This was around the 80s and the 90s, if I'm not mistaken. Shit, was they working? Lord have mercy. Mama was just popping kids out. Oh, Lord have, no, 10 kids, yo. That kind of reminds me of what they used to do back in the day. And they was working too.
Same mom, same dad.
Oh, they was getting
My
down.
daddy got 11. He got his brother dad got an 8-year-old.
Oh, daddy stepped out.
But 10 siblings, same mom, same dad.
And then the odd one just.
Yeah.
He said the odd one, I'm dead. But daddy did step out. Oh. So you guys 11 siblings. One is just not part of mommy and dad. He's just dead.
He's just about some other bitch or whatever. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Some other bitch. That's your stepmama.
That ain't my stepmom. That ain't my stepmom. Some other bitch, some other female bitch, whatever you gonna call it. That ain't my stepmom.
Okay, so out of the 10 siblings, nobody got nothing.
The brother, you know what I'm saying? Like I've said before, he's still doing DoorDashes. Working, you know what I'm saying? Working a job, you know? My other one just got a job, and I ain't gonna say what jobs, but yeah, he been, you know, struggling down bad for the longest.
Right.
Yeah, so.
I mean, my thing is, all right, she seen her sister come up. Her sister came out due to her, what, her rap and the Tubi movies and stuff like that, right? Why couldn't she do the same thing? According to a lot of people, right, that I've heard talk about this, right, she came up faster than GLORILLA. But see, I want y'all to know something, right? When you come up using someone else's name, tarnishing someone else's name, you're going to fall as fast as you come up.
So, okay, with your sister's money, what do you expect her to like? What do you expect to be like? What do you think you're supposed to be at right now in life?
My thing is with that, I feel like she should have gave us a push start.
What?
If the struggle, you know, if we came up in the house, silver spoon in our mouth and all that, but the struggle was severe with us.
Yeah.
So for you to be the one to make it out, you should have gave us a push start. Right. If I open up your own business, now she would have said, get
nah,
that,
you
do
tripping.
that, and I it off. And I'm coming back like I need some more, that would have been a different story.
Yeah.
You tripping now. You tripping. You still tripping. All right, because each and every one of y'all got your own individual talents. All right, it shouldn't take your sister's fame to help you come up. You just came up now, right? Even though you used her name, you could have did this without using her name. All right, because I've seen some of her little shorts. She fun. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think I've seen a short where I think even Charleston White, right? I think wants to sue her, if I'm not mistaken. And Charleston White, man, look, listen, I'm not even gonna get into that, man. Charleston White is a goofy. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. I don't care who gets mad.
But zero, but you got all these friends and stuff, and the female that watch you get stomped out with you, like that's not fair. That's not right.
Right.
That's not cool.
So you ain't even get a push gift. I mean, a push star. Like,
yeah,
so what business would you go into?
Probably like
you like a truck driver.
I was just gonna say the
like I can see you hopping out a big ass truck.
Say the box truck.
Yeah, like a big ass truck.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Making some stretch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I can't.
Damn, 10 siblings. Nobody got but you the only one mad.
Nah, they mad. They just ain't bold. That's all that is. But see, if you look at it, it took me 4 years.
Right.
She been out for 4 years. So they mad. They just ain't bold enough to come out with it. I'm the bold one because I really don't give a. So yeah.
Yeah, I can tell about the tattoos and miscellaneous place.
This shit is wild. Miss V said, yep, he's trying to get her locked up for putting a $35K bounty on his head. Yo, that shit is crazy. And Charleston White over here mad first because somebody's doing to him, trolling him, trolling him the same way he be calling himself trolling other people. And that's what I be talking about. This is why I say this is a perfect example. Right? Like what we've been talking about, from the past 3 lives, right? A lot of people do this on social media, then they turn around and they cry victim. That right there, boy, Like y'all trolling each other, then y'all want people to come. Oh no, you gotta pick my side because I've been through it the worst. No, you gotta pick my side. Me, my trauma is even worse. Come over here. Come on, man. Don't weaponize your pain on me. All right, I see right through the smoke, man. Everybody trying to use their pain to gain some clicks and views and some. I mean, everybody wants. Listen, let's not even say clicks and views. Let's take that out of those. Let's take that out of what I just said. All right, let's take it back a step. All right. Clicks and views, obviously. You going online, you want someone to click on your video and watch, right? Yeah. But everybody doing this shit just for, a little bit of change, right? And then later on they want to turn around and try to regret it. No. Like you did this, is out there. You can't take it back. That's why I'm like, I don't know. This for me, I'm hoping that later on we don't find out is a skit, all right? Because when you really look at it, right? I'm not sure if people is really mad at this because, of the money situation or because, according to people, stuff was exposed. But let's be honest, all right? Their story has already been exposed. It was exposed the first time GLORILLA did the interview with other people. I think if the one that I got sent was with, what's his name? Shannon Sharp, all right? 10 siblings, living in a house with roaches, rodents, and more, right? Their story is out there. So I'm not so sure, what's the hype, between these two siblings. See, when I was caught up in, the family drama, like I told y'all, right, earlier on social media, I was young, right? I was responding out of emotions. This could be the same situation. All right, they could be responding out of emotion, not common sense, right? I was reacting and not thinking. They could be going through the same thing, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure because I also think it's a skit. All right. And back then, I thought clapping back meant I was doing something. I thought matching energy meant, I was winning. But really, I was, just feeding a cycle that was designed to keep me stuck. And the wild part is I didn't even realize how stuck I was until I stepped out of it. Like how many of us confused reacting with healing because we didn't know, any better back then. As I got older, I started wondering why so many people stayed stuck in the, same cycle. I escaped. Why they kept repeating the same arguments, the same drama, the same patterns year after year. And then it hit me. Some people don't want to grow. Growth requires accountability. Growth requires honesty. Growth requires, looking in the mirror and admitting you were wrong. And a lot of folks ain't ready, how can I say for that yet? Why do some people fear growth, right? More than they fear staying, how can I say, miserable?
Is on your face. Like you don't even give a fuck about a job. That's why you mad. You can't get a job. You trying to get her
See?
to give you the money because you walking Wendy's right now. They go, hell no.
Oh, I'm working on damn Wendy's.
I know, but if you was walking there,
My manager got tattoos and shit. They better hire me. But I'm gonna work at Wendy's, no way. But I like Wendy's. But I really hot spices from McDonald's. But hey, it is what it is.
and your sister ate your hot and spicy.
She ain't had my hot and spicy.
I'm dead. And I seen a few shorts with that too of this hot and spicy sandwich thingy. But anyways, ain't no shame at working at Wendy's, all right? I had to pause it right there. At least you was making some income and you don't got no kids. You could have been stacking your bread. All right, managing that shit. But I don't know. Seeming from my research, it seemed like she wasn't even taught that. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna talk about it in a little bit. All right. I feel as though the mom is the toxic one in this family situation, this whole family dynamic thingy. All right. Because I've done some research, all right? That's why, listen, besides me pushing this live, that's why I said we're going to do it all together today. All right, we're going to talk about it all right now. I even dropped the link down there, right? Like, we're going to talk about it all today because I'm going to take a little month off. If I do pop up, it's going to be because there's a community event going on or I want to show y'all something that's happening in Philly, all right, or a meeting that's happening, but I got to finish my books. So all y'all going to get from me this month is going to be, for the next 30 days is going to be just uploads and shorts, all right, and more poetry. But let's do this today, all right, because I'm not going to do reviews and reactions for a good month, all right? I'll be back in a month doing reviews and reactions and current news and random topics, but I need to get done what I got to get done. And being online doing these lives, people don't understand it takes a minute to get it set up and everything, all right? I even got to take notes, write them down so that I can know what it is that I want to talk about and say so I don't get off topic myself. But this is wild, man. People out here saying that you can't work, man. You better go work, make that bread, stack that bread the best way you can when you don't have no kids and no responsibilities. So I tell my son every day, you have the opportunity right now to stack that bread up. Right now, you don't have no, how can I say, no responsibilities, no kids, no bills, no rent, no nothing. Stack that bread up.
When
We ain't ate the whole day.
they just came out like a couple years ago. So when
Where
did
they
you do that?
been? How's somebody been now? Where you been?
Not that long, like 2018, 2019.
Did you go?
Hot and spicy McChickens.
Yes.
They ain't been out that
Can
damn.
somebody Google this, please? Anybody got Google?
Google it
Hot and
for me.
spicy?
They ain't been out. Right, they be gone. Like I remember when the commercial came out, like it was crazy. It was limited time, but now they permanent time.
Hot and spices never went out. We was getting hot and spicy when they was $1.10. Somebody Google it.
2002.
2000. Hot and spicy was out way before this.
Well, let me tell you something. That's how you know I struggle. We got McDonald's once a year. I wasn't able to get no hot and spicy to be able to choose. My mama get everybody a burger and we split 3 fries.
I mean, he ain't lying. All right. Like when I used to get McDonald's or Burger King and stuff like that I wanted when I was a kid, I had to, babysit, work at the corner store, cleaning the floors, stacking the refrigerators up, cleaning somebody's front yard, man. And then, I had some money. I had to work for my money. Like for real. I was taught to do that though. Like, listen, people don't understand I was taught. But my mom, she wasn't going to treat us out we had to eat in the house every single day. Shit, Saturdays and Sundays was for cleaning. All right. And we had to listen to her music.
She shake a little bit on these 6.
Well.
3 fries between 6 people. 2 get half a fry, a small fry. Everybody get their own burger though. But that was dinner.
But you made it out.
Yeah.
Your family straight on?
Hell no.
Why
I ain't straight.
I'm sitting there with another glow.
This
another glow.
I ain't straight.
You a glow?
I ain't straight.
You got Gucci on. What you talking about?
He's fake.
Oh, snap. He said he's
Now these was free.
The earrings.
Oh yeah, I stole these.
OMG.
Y'all done called me out here with another glow.
No, listen.
Y'all a conspiracy.
Let me ask you something. Why you want that damn girl money?
I'm dead.
Listen, if you know that's your sister, how tight is you with your sister?
Well, you want me to be honest with you?
Yeah.
Before she hit, we was cordial.
Cordial?
Our relationship kind of went downhill with the gloss bitch. When they make the fake ass t-shirts and shit. Yeah, our relationship went downhill with her. Because she did some scheming ass shit.
Right.
Who's
But
the
we was
gloss
still
bitch?
cordial.
Mm-hmm.
But then, this what I'm saying though. Y'all can't keep on saying me. You got 10 siblings. I'm not just the only sibling.
Right.
I'm just the only one speaking out.
Do you think you're gonna get the money now?
I'm not getting it then, so I don't give a fuck. I'm getting some money now, so it really don't matter.
You're getting your own money now.
Yeah, so I wasn't getting it then. Like, when is enough is enough.
Okay, true. But me coming up as somebody that do something, when it comes to like people feeling like entitlement, it's like, what did you help your sister with to get what she had? Like,
That's what I was just asking.
Did you book her any studio sessions? Did you?
Well, I couldn't afford it. How am I gonna book up with y'all struggling?
Was you in there when she was recording?
No.
So how the fuck you think you gonna get some of her money and you wasn't there grinding with her?
Because we was on the floor together.
That don't mean nothing.
It does mean something.
You just got out of jail.
I'm saying though, you
just got out of jail, right?
Oh,
So that mean you think you owe that nigga? I mean, you a female. You think you owe that in that cell with you something? Y'all slept in that together. So if you bump into your Sally, you did 10 years with, and you up, you think you owe him
I
something?
went in jail 10 years.
But I'm just saying, example.
That's not my blood.
Example.
That's not my blood though.
Yeah.
That's a different type of scenario.
But it's a lot of people that don't help their blood. Like, you know
And
how
they
many
fucked
crackheads
up.
I see walking around here that I know they blood got a lot of money, but you get them some money, they gonna fuck it up. Some
she
people
didn't
can
give me
see.
none. I'm saying, you gotta look. What if she gave me?
But you just said y'all was cordial.
Before she hit, yeah. But then again, the Gloss situation, she did some snake ass shit with that too.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all was cordial all the way until she became famous. Yo. They was cordial until she became famous.
Because Gloss was on some used with my money.
So your money?
Yeah.
Where your money come at? You ain't got no money. You just said you ain't got no money.
Where your siblings at, bro? Where your siblings at?
By who?
Your siblings.
Siblings? They at home.
Did you fuck with them?
Yeah.
So you just lied?
No.
Because 10 minutes ago, you said you ain't gave them nothing.
That was 10 minutes ago?
About five
see,
minutes.
See, the thing about it, when you look at people, I know people see me like Skinbone been doing this forever. Skinbone been doing it. He should be rich. I be up and down. Now, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I be up and down. I be up one day, I be down. For real. That's just how it works. But like that's what I'm saying. What do you know about your sister? Like you know she got that deal, but you know that's advanced though. You got to get that back.
Bro, she been on 4 years, bro. She got endorsement with Sheen, all types of shit.
Sheen?
Hell yeah, she got endorsement with Sheen.
She all hype. So why don't you try to do something and get noticed so that Sheen can endorse you? Like maybe I'm tripping.
Googling her network every day and get mad at her.
Damn, why is you Googling your sister's net worth? It's like some stalking shit. Wait a minute. Hold up. Mental health is real.
It's lying though. Let me Google her network.
She do got endorsement with
Let me Google her network. Hold on. GLORILLA network 2026. Ain't nothing pop up. 23 mil. 2 to 3 million? That ain't
That's why they want 2,500.
But you gotta think about it. 3 million. Taxes come out. That's like 2.3 right there.
Y'all really think
you gotta pay
2.3 million?
You say who?
You really think that girl worth 2.3 million?
I mean, that's just what that's. I'm pretty sure she got way more than that.
Well, a hella more than that.
Yeah.
She's not worth nowhere near 2.3 million.
Mm-hmm.
So my point is, again, why you ain't with the family? And then she was talking about me on live. I mean, on interviews and shit. Mm-hmm. I'm the 5th child. If you go back to them interviews, she always saying a 5th child. So she been talking about me, so it's really a leak back.
Oh my God. She wasn't talking about you. She did an interview. She did not talk about you. She did an interview. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, when we talk about our life, our childhood, our trauma, and all that stuff, like, everything's already, you know what? People don't understand. And you know what's crazy? You know, social media makes us even worse, right? I'll be real. I let my anger get the best of me back then. And, you know, the people around me knew exactly which buttons to push. They knew how to trigger me. They knew, you know, how to get a reaction. Right. And I gave it to them every time. I was predictable. I was emotional. I was easy, you know, to bait. And I feel as though that's what is going on with GLORILLA. Right. But that's what happens when, you know, when you're unhealed. Right. You become a puppet. Right. To your own triggers. Like, how many times do we let people control simply because we didn't control our emotions? Yo, real shit. Like, a lot of this is for her. Like, she wants to be famous, just like her sister. Like, I'm not going to sit here and lie, right? My kids saved me. My kids grounded me. My kids matured me faster than anything else could, right? My oldest son, you know, literally grew up with me. I was a baby having a baby, but he made me grow up, so, you know, like, quick. Like, he made me think before reacting. He made me realize that everything I do, everything I say, everything I put online, he's watching. And I refuse to let, you know, him grow up thinking dysfunction is something that's normal. Like, who or what finally made you realize you had to break the cycle? And what's crazy is that they don't have nobody that could make them see that they can break that cycle. Like I said, I feel as though the mom is a major problem in the situation. All right, I ain't gonna sit here and lie. Like, when I listen, like, it seems like GLORILLA right now is not just responding to, you know, her sister. She's responding to everything online. And when I look back, I realized responding online wasn't, strength. It was insecurity. It was pain. It was immaturity. I thought, I was standing up for myself, but really I was just exposing my wounds to people who didn't care. And the truth is, some people pretend like they have something to lose, but they act like they don't. If that makes sense, right? They'll risk everything, their family, their reputation, their peace, just to win an argument that don't even matter. Like, why do people gamble their whole life for validation? They won't even last 24 hours. For real, some people sell their souls for attention, and I feel as though that's what Shorty over here is doing. They'll throw away relationships, opportunities, their dignity just to feel important for a moment. All right, they'll drag the people they love. All right, betray the people who care about them, and burn every bridge ever built, all for clout. And the saddest part is that they don't realize what they're how can I say, they don't realize what they lost until it's gone. Right, they wake up one day without nothing. All right, but screenshots and regrets. I don't know, why. I don't know why people value, like, how can I say, why people only value what, how can I say, they had after they destroy it, right? They don't value what they have until it's destroyed. And unfortunately, Shorty over here is going to hit a hard wall.
She been talking about me. I'm the fifth child.
That's why you're doing this. It's always the middle. My favorite show, Malcolm in the Middle. He the middle child. He was always the one that's always complaining. Why do I gotta get his hand-me-downs? Or why I got the middle child syndrome?
Bro,
What the fuck?
Bro, you funny. I can't even be serious with you, bro. Nah, hell nah.
Because you're not serious either.
There, bro. It's just simple fact. She got all these folks riding around. And then, like I said, my mama's still working at FedEx. So how is that for her? You saying it like I'm trying to make some shit, you sending the other nigga to the weed factory. So that
she making it seem like her whole family are masters. You see where I'm coming from? Like they got their sister enslaved and stuff like that. Oh no, you gotta go work and oh no, you know what? Fuck that. No. Let's bring it back to this era. It's like she makes it seem like her and her family are pimps. They're putting their sister to work, and her, she's obligated to bring back the money to the the pimp, the master. Come on, like some people just don't understand. Like I think they say she's older, if I'm not mistaken, right? She should have more common sense, unless she's suffering from mental health.
That's not fair.
What if your mama want to work at FedEx?
My mom do not want to work at FedEx. Everybody trying to come and push that narrative. She do not want to work, but she work at FedEx because she have to work at FedEx.
Right.
She do not want to work at FedEx.
What about your pops?
Okay, let me ask you this. About a couple of years back, didn't they say Glo retired her parents? He just retired. He retired because his time was up. He didn't retire because she was
forced him to retire.
Basically, yeah. He didn't retire because I'm seeing everybody talking about she retired her parents. That is a lie. That's a lie. She didn't retire. This man retired because his time was up. That's why he retired.
So what the car at?
I don't know. You tell me. I ain't never seen it.
It's gone?
Oh,
I ain't never seen it when she gave it to him. She probably just brought it there and took it back. I don't know. I ain't never seen it. I'd been over his house afterwards. I ain't seen the car.
I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. Could this be jealousy? What she's going through? Like, did her sister make promises and break promises? I don't know what's going on, but it does seem like I feel as though this could have been handled behind closed doors.
So, did you ever ride in any of your sister's nice cars? Did you ever get?
Bro, when Gloria hit, I done seen Gloria 3 times since she hit, and the other time with pop-ups in my mama's house because I was there on a holiday. The concert, the concert, my mama sneaking me in there.
How you got to sneak in your sister's concert?
Exactly.
You look just like her.
I'm dead.
She ain't called me like, hey, so come to the concert, nothing like that. It was a last minute thing. My mama actually sneak begged her, could I go? And she like, yeah, come on, bring, I'm gonna put her name on the list. It was never calling her, hey, come to the concert. It was never nothing like that. My mama snuck me up in there, basically.
Did you enjoy the concert?
I did.
She
got some fire-ass songs. That's for real. Mine. If I let you see my Apple Music right now.
It's your sister.
She loves her sister's music. Listen, this shit is crazy. She admires her sister, but she hate her sister at the same time. Yo, there's some sibling rivalry right here. That's all this is.
She got some fire ass music. I enjoyed it though. I ain't gonna take from her talent. I'm just, you know, her personality just up. That's all it is.
I mean, this is.
I don't.
Do you
like
ever think
her
like
sister's
everybody,
music,
like y'all got the same personality?
Eh?
Cause you, I'm serious. Like it's just like ghetto. You growing.
I'm
Listen,
trying to be serious. You making me laugh. I'm trying to be serious, bro.
your mindset, and this is what I tell people that's up and coming with no money or up and coming with no followers. Your mindset will change when you get some money.
Now my mindset, man, I got a little something.
Everybody always talk about what they gonna do and how they gonna. It's gonna change. You're not gonna.
I've
It's,
already been seeing money.
it's gonna change.
The little money I've been getting, I already been seeing it up.
You ain't getting me.
Hey, I'm dead.
You gotta give it to me.
Oh yeah, but you gonna give it back because just as you saying, you talk about giving back.
Bro, you got Gucci on. I got no Timberlands. You all right?
What that mean?
And then them like Pradas and Timberlands. Like hell no, you straight. You
Pradas
good.
and
Like Pradas mixed with Timberlands. Oh God, you good. You straight. Next
See
question.
what I'm saying? So you picking and choosing.
I'm not picking and
That's
choosing.
what I'm saying. You trying to find somebody that only want $20, and you giving out $20 and look like you the woman and giving out the money and like you that bitch and like I just looked out for the hood. You spent $100.
I make sure my folks straight first.
Okay.
See, for me to make sure you straight and then to make sure my folks straight, that would make me glorious. That would make me a twin for real.
Yeah.
You cool though. I'll with you.
I'm dead.
You know what I'm saying? If you ever need, you know what I'm saying, a couple
so you know it's kind of different. Like if I had GLORILLA money, then I'll be like, hey, reach out to the family, everybody good. But I ain't up there.
Now I'm gonna ask you a question.
Ask me a question.
If you got signed for 500,000 and you just said you been through this.
Well, according to people, right, that are reacting to this whole situation, right, according to her, she's already making it there. Like, is she giving her family some money? You see where I'm coming from? Is she getting them a little something out of every check? Like, this is to hold you over until I really make it. This is to hold, like, is she doing that? Because I wouldn't come out here and, expose my family to end up doing the same thing that I've exposed my family for doing. Because this is wild. See, that's what I'm saying. Some things just need to stay off online.
Mm-hmm.
You got how many siblings? You got 5 siblings?
Yep.
How much you would have gave them a piece? How much you gave your mama starting off?
500.
You got 500.
If I got a 500,000 deal right now, of me already have that's already having money, and then I just get another 500.
No, if you default.
Oh, I was just broke and just got 500.
You just broke and got 500.
I was just broke and got 500. And now they just give me 500. And I'm getting up off the pallet.
Yeah.
Off the piss.
They crazy.
We were kids though. She was grown. She was grown when she got signed.
Right.
So
she fuck nigga free.
Yeah.
I remixed that song. And I did
I need to get some money from you then. You got 2,500?
You made the song?
Nah, you made the song. If you something to her success, you owe me some money then.
Your sister.
I'm obligated.
Your sister blocked me.
But you still the reason why she on.
No, I'm not. I'm blocked.
Give him my Apple Pay and stuff. He the reason I'm on. I mean the reason she on, right?
I didn't say that.
Yo, she said, "Give me the Apple Pay." Like he the reason I'm my bad. The reason she on. Like yo, she can't even get it. This is what I'm saying. Like, is this a skit? Like the only fucked up part about it is if it is, man, the way social media is, she's gonna go down faster than when she came up. All right, like. This is why I stepped away from the bullshit. This is why I cut people off. This is why, I stopped entertaining the drama because I realized I had too much to lose. My peace, my kids, my growth, my future. I realized that not everyone deserves, access to me. Not everyone deserves, a response. And this is wild. Like, I don't know. Will they continue to bullshit online now that she's coming up? Because it's crazy, right? Like, she's really coming up her sister's name. I see why some people are really, snapping. Listen, not everyone deserves a seat at the table, all right? And, in the moment, you choose peace over, pettiness. people's, your whole life, anybody's life, gets shifted. Like, what are you willing to, walk away from to protect your peace? She's only worried about money. It's like that's all that she cares about. Or it could be just a persona. A persona she's portraying. Like, you see where I'm coming from? But I don't know if they really like this behind closed doors. At the end of the day, growth is painful, but staying, the same is deadly. I had to, learn the hard way that not everyone grows with you. Some people, stay stuck. Some people stay bitter. Some people, stay chaotic, and that's their journey, not ours. All right. Some of us choose to evolve, choose to heal. Some of us choose to, break cycles. And I hope, somebody listening today realizes that, they can choose the same. Like, are you ready to grow, right, for real? Or are you still letting, how can I say, your triggers run your life? Because I don't know. I mean, she could be probably younger than me. How old is Glorilla? Let me see. How old is Glorilla? All right, so she's 26 years old. Now, how old is this one? It doesn't say when the sister was born. It just says that she's older. Let me see. All right, it just says that Brovilla's name is Victoria. But it doesn't give her name. I mean, her age. Hold on, wait. Glorilla is related to Cardi B and Lil Uzi Vert? What the hell's going on? Wait a minute. Both confirmed as cousins, with Cardi B discovering their link through a DNA service, ensuring that Cardi's grandfather had a child in Tennessee who became Glorilla's father, making them first cousins. Oh, wow. That's wild. So hold up, wait a minute, bro. Rilla, wait. Hold up, wait a minute. So if Cardi B is your cousin, go over there and ask Cardi B for some bread. Like, well, hold up a minute. They related? Did anybody else know this? I did not know that Glorilla and Cardi B and Lil Uzi Vert were all related. I didn't know they were cousins. So you first cousins with Cardi B. So since you say, why don't you go also ask Cardi B for some of her fame? She got way more money than freaking Glorilla. Her net worth is worth more. Do you even know your cousins? Because I think Glorilla does. Because I seen a picture with Cardi B and Glorilla there on Google. What the hell's going on? Man, this shit is wild.
I'm the reason she on.
You helped do that for
I
that
most
phone?
definitely came to her first show here. I was at her first show here at the
Let's go for it. It's wild. I think so too, Miss V. Because listen, yeah. I mean, let me see. All right, here we go. We're gonna come right back to this, man. Listen, if nobody else knew, I'm about to show it to y'all. So I know I'm not tripping. Let me make sure I can press play right here.
Put my family business. Okay. But he used. So there was GLORILLA and Cardi B are biological cousins, and when they were together in studio, the interviewer couldn't believe it.
Well, this is GLORILLA right here. She's related to Cardi B.
For real.
No, you're not.
That's my cousin.
No,
That's my cousin.
Black people cousin are cousin. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, we're
Because you my
cousins.
cousin.
That's my cousin.
My grandfather, he used to I don't like to put my family business
Okay.
but he used to push weight and everything. And there was this one time that he lived in Tennessee and whatever. So he ain't really told my grandma that he was dealing with somebody over there. And then he had a kid out there. And that's Glorilla's dad and everything. So that's what made us related.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's my cousin.
GLORILLA and Cardi B are biological cousins, and when they were together in studio, the
And this is how I came across this, all right? I was trying to find out GLORILLA's age. All right, and it just popped up here on Google. All right, I wasn't searching for Cardi B. I'm about to hit on that real quick. But that is wild because it popped up. That's all it's doing is giving me information on Cardi. I mean, on Cardi. See, shit, I even got discombobulated. Does she have a twin sister? Who's her twin sister? Brorilla is not her twin sister, retards. If she's older. Now, this over here is legit. She does have, see, it says, who is also known as Scarface. That's who we're talking about now. Rapper GLORILLA is related to fellow artists Cardi B and Lil Uzi Vert, both confirmed as cousins, with Cardi B discovering their link through a DNA service, as sharing that Cardi's grandfather had a child in Tennessee who became GLORILLA's father, making them first cousins. See? Oh shit, so GLORILLA confirmed it on the interview. What interview was that? I can't click on the interview? That is wild. Well, we learned something new today. We learned something new today. That's why people are saying that she's coming up faster than GLORILLA. That's why I'm like, you don't even got to use your sister's name to come up. You could just come up. They all got skills. But it's crazy how you got to try to come up off your family because your family's already up in the up. But if it's like that, man, GLORILLA, a.k.a. Scarface, man, Cardi B's more famous. You could probably get something out of Cardi. They say Cardi loves giving. Shit. They be like, she be going to Santo Domingo and she be making it rain in her country. Allegedly. I don't know. I don't be in her life, so I don't know. I'm just trying, be funny with this shit. But let's go.
Why she blocked me?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Let's talk about that. Why she block you?
I don't know.
What you do to my sister?
I love your sister.
What you do to her?
I didn't do nothing. See, but this is why I'm telling y'all, I feel like y'all the same. Y'all both sensitive. I make comedy videos about people's situations so they can laugh at their
Yeah.
She didn't laugh. She blocked me.
Right after you made the video.
Right after.
Dang.
Facts, Miss V, facts. She had to use her name to come up, but that's also the fastest way to come down too, man. Real shit. I get where everybody's coming from, but it's like she would have been recognized. It's just that she didn't want to wait. She didn't want to wait for her time. She wanted to steal someone else's time. Am I wrong? I'm like, it's like the little green-eyed monster, like our OGs used to tell us back in it. Don't let the little green-eyed monster take over. Don't let the little green-eyed monster. Well, she let the little green-eyed monster take over. Real shit. This is crazy. Because they both got talent. This one's funny. All right, little GLORILLA is more like a comedian. So I don't know why she didn't even take that route. Like she would have went on TikTok. She would have blew up. TikTok, Snapchat, she would have blew up with her little comedic self. All right, it's like it's crazy because I'm still stuck when I seen the little clip of Charleston White. All right, let me see. Do I got it here? We'll come right back to this. Let me see. I know I saved it. No, I gotta look for it again. I seen that little clip of Charleston White talking about they putting a hit on. Like no, she put a hit on him. I'm saying like, wait, Charleston White suing her. She just come. You ain't getting nothing but the little bit of change she just got, and she's supposed to split that between her and her family. So I'm sorry, we gotta put some humor into this, man, because boy, I'm telling you, this shit is wild. It's wild. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this whole thing with Glorilla and Brorilla feels like a play to me, all right? A production, a storyline, a season finale. I don't know these people from a can of paint. So I can't say, what's real, right, or scripted with them two right now. But something about it feels, theatrical. All right. Like, and honestly, that's the world we live in now. Everything looks like content, everything looks like a rollout, everything looks like a storyline. Like, how do we even tell the difference anymore between real family issues and internet entertainment? All right. But the truth is, family goes through ups and downs. All right. That's that part is normal. That part is human. That part is universal. The problem is when people take those ups and downs and drag them onto the, how can I say, onto the internet, right? Like it's a talent show. Only you and your family can fix the issues you have. Not the comments, not the trolls, not the blogs, not the, how can I say, spectators, all right? And definitely not the people who, only show up when there's drama. Like, why do people trust strangers with problems they won't even discuss honestly with their own family? And that's what it seemed like to me. I could be wrong, all right? I could be wrong on this. But this is, just my opinion.
And I was just shining a light on the situation. Like, that's why I'm a comedian, because I had to laugh my way up. Like, I wasn't struggling.
See?
Damn near eat roaches. We couldn't eat honey smacks. The roaches blending in with the honey smacks.
I can't even.
I grew up in the projects.
Wait a minute. I thought he was going to say he couldn't eat honey smacks because his family couldn't afford it. But he said because the roaches blended with it. Yo, I'll be mad as shit. Honey smacks was popping back in. I'm not going to. Now that he just said that, it's like I got that. I got the taste of the honey smack. I want a bowl of honey smacks right now. Some real shit. It's been a while. Like, yo, damn. And I don't even think, even if I was to find a box right now of honey smacks, I don't even think they'll taste like the ones that, we had back in the days. For real. And then you got to eat them fast because they get soggy as shit. For real. But he said, I can't. I'm glad my mama was clean. Yo, I'm telling you, man. Like, listen, we live in the hood, all right? We live in the hood. And no matter how clean your mom has the house, all right? You can bleach this house down. My mom looked, I'm telling you, from Fabuloso to the Clorox to Mr. Clean. Like, she will mix everything up, have us clean. Look, when you walked in here, boy, this house smells so fresh. But you could have a neighbor, right? And it's funny, right? Because sometimes these neighbors will come and they'll buy, the little spray, start spraying, right? They'll do all this. And then you start seeing these little roaches, and then, your parents start, going crazy. Right, when your parents start seeing the roaches coming in or the mice, boy, you better not have one plate dirty in your room. That, like, listen, they be on your top. No, the funny part is like, I've had enough. Like, we're not gonna keep buying no bug spray. I'm tired of cleaning this fucking house. I'm slave to this house, boy. I'm telling you, we got a bomb. Yo, we had to leave the house sometimes, yo, and I'm telling you, like, you can have the cleanest house in the motherfucking world, but if your neighbor is dirty, you're going to see some of them come through. All right. If your neighbor is dirty, all right, the mice is going to try to come through. All right. For real. That's how it is in the hood. Unless your house is separated from your, we live on row houses, right? Where we at. I don't know how it is in other places. Listen, I've been to Youngstown, Ohio, right? And in Youngstown, Even in the hood, they do got, the houses separated from each other. I don't know if they got row houses in Youngstown like they got here. Where I went, houses were separated. And even there, it's crazy that, people have the same type of issues and the houses are not together. So imagine when the houses are connected one next to the other. All right. Like, it's crazy. And some of us, how can I say, are left behind when our parents are not here with some serious OCD. All right. We can't see something on the floor because we got it clean. Like, listen, it took my baby pops forever. Like, yo, relax. You got kids. All right. You're not going to have a child-proof house forever. They're going to grow up. Let them enjoy being kids. All right. Like, because for me, it was, oh my God, they made a mess. And I was, listen, I wouldn't go to sleep if I wasn't clean. And it took me a little minute to get off that habit. All right. And it was because of the way we was brought up. Like, I don't know why people think that, in the hood, everybody's house has got to be dirty. No, it's not like that. All right. And that's why I be feeling bad for some of these old heads that be in the hood still. All right. And that their family don't come and visit them. Because some people be dirty as shit. Like, the mice be trying to, roaches, all that be trying to come into your crib, no matter how clean your crib is. All right. As crazy as it sounds. I'm like, this is not something that, say here, oh my God, I'm going to come up off of this. Like, no, like she just spoke on her story. They did an interview. They asked her about her upbringing. I mean, a lot of us speak on it with or without interviews. Some of us, just on a daily conversation, you see where I'm coming from, trying to bring solutions to the table. What worked for this person, what didn't work for this person. You see where I'm coming from? But hey, don't nobody want to see it like that.
So, I think the video about when Glow blocked me was when they was playing with her when she was in Cali.
I talking about the backstage stuff.
When they threw water or
Man,
something.
that shit was funny as hell.
Or spit on her or something like that. But if you watch the whole video, her actual video, her security kept walking her. My video, we whooped the bitch that spit on her. So it's like always, I wasn't picking on her. Yeah, but, that's what I'm saying. Y'all sensitive. That's them woods.
How is that sensitive? I don't know why she blocked it. That was a better reason. Comedy is comedy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You weren't being serious about it was comedy. So I don't know.
You right here. I ain't never getting unblocked. So.
You ain't answer my question though.
What was the question?
500,000.
500,000. Right now, with my mindset, with what I've been through, give my mama 100 off top, give my siblings 10 apiece. Well, that's just me off when I was making money back in the day. I wasn't thinking about nobody. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't thinking about nobody because it wasn't nobody helping me do the shit. It wasn't nobody helping me get to where I'm at. Nobody helped me do nothing.
But I'm saying though, but here's what I'm saying though to you. What if ain't none of y'all got out of the struggle though? Mm-hmm. Y'all even grew up into the struggle. Mm-hmm. Y'all, everybody still struggling.
Right.
So everybody pushing in there to do something. Y'all ain't ever, we couldn't. Mm-hmm. Shit, we still struggling like her.
See, the difference is with helping, you don't have to have money to help. Go to her damn studio sessions. Drive her to the studio. So she ain't got no car. Take her to the studio session.
We gonna do that. We ain't got no car.
Walk with her.
Walk.
Nah, she in the car with a bunch of her damn friends. She always pick up friends. Gloria always been the person to pick up friends over family anyway. Mm-hmm. And it's going to show she doing it now.
She got friends.
You know what y'all
I'm blocked.
Oh, damn. You want to look on my page?
Yeah, I'm going to look on you. She ain't block you?
No, she ain't block me yet.
That's what I'm talking about. See, she love you, though. She love you. She ain't block you.
I ain't blocked.
She ain't block you, see? She watching. She want to see what you saying and what you doing. She still peeping the scene.
But she still doing crooked ass shit toward me, too. Like she just promoted that fight video, which happened 2 years ago. So,
Yeah, what the hell you doing fighting a man?
Bruh. We gotta say, I don't even want to give his head no clout on God.
Don't say his name, but what the hell?
He's trying to, he got mine. I don't even, next question.
Emotions.
Cause him and his sag about ass mammy, he got mine. Look.
I'm dead.
Ain't that your ex?
That is not my ex. That was somebody I was.
How could you do that? What you was doing?
Oh. I ain't gonna lie. I thought she was a dyke, but she's into men. Oh shit. I thought she was a stud because of the way she's carrying herself and everything. But she's into men. Are you bi? You know what? None of my business. Just curiosity. I don't know how many lives I got left from curiosity though. So fall back, Leo.
Bruh.
You be having to put your dicks in the freezer
I
and
don't
throw them
use
out.
straps.
You don't?
No.
You just munch like.
No, I'm not. I'm getting munched on.
Oh,
Munch?
you the reverse cowgirl.
Yeah, I'm not. We don't use toys.
Just hands and feet.
Nigga, we don't.
Oh, bumping and grinding.
Yeah, I don't. What I'm getting out of using strap?
Well, at least you know, because a lot of people don't know what they're not getting. Like,
They're not getting nothing out of using no damn strap. I don't use no strap. If when we I'm not coming, I'm not going.
right.
I don't.
Speaking of and coming and not going, is you a virgin?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
You never got fucked?
No, bro. That I've never had no kids. Never got an abortion or none of this.
You never got pregnant.
I sucked a dick before, but I ain't never got no. You know what I'm saying?
What?
That was one time. That was only one time I did it.
Okay. Oh. I'm confused. This was a sex conversation? It was like a relationship sex conversation type. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but she has been in a relationship with men. Never took dick, but sucked dick one time. And she loves bumping and grinding. And she's still a virgin. All the biting and nibbling is done to her. Either she's a virgin and hasn't been in no relationships, or she's not a virgin and she's just trying to play the shit out of people in people's faces. Because either she's straight or she's bi. Whatever.
There was one time.
What made you suck a dick?
Because I was still in the closet, bro. My mama was against the gay. So I had to, he was like, everybody having sex with that girl. I want to say, well, I'll suck your dick, but I'm not finna get I don't like
what?
Men. That was one time. Yeah.
How old were you?
17.
Sucking dick at 17. That
was just a one-time thing, though.
You ain't like it.
Where my Dutch go? Oh, right here.
Like I was never attracted to men.
So what is that? So you a stud or a bulldog? Like what's the
Thank
definition?
you. I'm a what? I mean, you a what? Not me. Wait. What the
What's
fuck?
a bulldog?
I'm confused.
It's like an old.
A what?
I ain't never seen an old dog. Like
wait a minute, stop blocking her. I keep beeping the shit out of her.
I ain't never seen an old dog. Like an old, like gray hair, old.
That's some man, let me stop. They gonna my platform.
Yeah. Saw how you was fighting. You better leave them alone.
She's a what? All right, so she's an old dyke. What she's trying to say, she's an old hoe? I've heard of the phrase an old hoe. She's an old dyke? What the Where my cousin at? My cousin, listen, my cousin's supposed to be like a stud, right? And she broke it down to me one day. She was like, Ray, right? She called me Ray. And she was like, Ray, I hope you know that there's no true lesbians unless, they've never really had sex. I was like, huh? She's like, yeah, like no dildos, no pipe, no nothing. Like they ain't take it. You see where I'm coming from? I was like, wait a minute. Like when they, just flap, coochies and play with, I'm like, okay, I didn't want to know all that, but she kind of broke that shit all the way down. Now, her trying to break this shit down kind of confused the shit out of me. So I do know that a real lesbian, right, has never had sex with a man. She's a virgin. Now, if they've had sex with a man, They're no real version. I mean, no real lesbians. All right, they're always going to go back to dick. All right, and my cousin's not the first one to ever say that. But Brorilla, Scarface, whatever her name, just confused the shit out of me. Then what the hell is an old dyke? You mean an old hoe? And then an old hoe means that you out here fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry. Grandpa, I feel like all the wisdom you gave me right now is kicking in. But this shorty right here is fucking with my IQ. Like, can you please come from wherever you at? Abuelito, necesito tu ayuda. Like, can you please come from wherever you at? Like, can you please come? Like, take over, possess my body for 1 second. I know I sound crazy to y'all right now, but yo, like, what am I? You know what? Let's just play. Because we're not going to play this whole thing out. Right? But it's like, am I tripping? Did I just like, am I in the right? Did I go to sleep again and wake up in some other type dimension shit? Like, I thought a white 2K finished, but I guess not.
Damn, I take this like serious.
It's 500,000 right now. What you doing?
500,000.
Yo.
I probably ain't doing up. Probably keep like 100,000. Rest of this shit ain't giving away. Oh God! And then once I give it to you, you better make a good plan about what you're gonna do with it, because they're coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Hell nah, I put you on your feet. You can open up businesses with 20,000.
Yeah. What business though?
Man, box trucks. Man, you
What
got
if
vendors.
what if I don't want to do that?
Well, that's just on your I don't know.
20,000, you here? Take
You
it.
can make it stretch.
You can make a scratch though.
You can make the dope stretch.
What you do? What you do for work right now?
I can't discuss all that.
See, that's why ain't nobody getting no more money, because you gonna turn the El Chapo.
Look,
you gonna turn the El Chapo.
I've had worked a job before though.
What job?
I didn't work there. You ever heard of Duke? Nah, you ain't heard no DuPont. You in California. I mean, Chicago. I had worked jobs before. Plenty good paying jobs. Last job I was at, I was getting paid $33 an hour.
$33
an hour.
An hour. $33. Oh, that's a decent bag.
Yeah, that was a week. I'm bringing home 25 flat or 3,000 if I do overtime. I was
that flat word.
I'm just.
So why are you complaining about your sister not giving you bread if you're making some good bread? Look, man, this whole thing is, you know what? I know I'm not going to sit here. Listen, we're going to listen to a few more minutes. I'm going to wait for this drawing to hit 30, all right? That way it'll be half of 60. All right? Because I know my brain cells are still working. Jesus Christ, Lord have mercy on my soul. Am I tripping right now? It's like, I swear to God, I feel like my common sense just left somewhere.
Okay, now that's a good question. She give you 2,500 flat. What you doing?
I bet you I flip this. I bet you I flip this
legally.
Oh damn! I'm probably gonna need 25,000. You talking about legally?
That's what I'm saying.
Damn.
That's what I'm saying. 2,500. You even know you can't really do with that legally.
Exactly.
To make some money, unless you go to the super legal way, the super slow way, investing in stocks, like all Bitcoin, all that.
And legally, I damn, I ain't.
Yeah, exactly. Now she probably ain't want to be associated or tied up with El Chapo Jr. because it probably would have dragged to her, you know. So she stayed away. You know, I'm just trying to think of all the scenarios.
Bro, this man is funny. Like, what's the next question?
How you feel about finesse?
Oh, that fat thighs ass bitch. Man, don't get me on it, man, bro. Juicy boot ass hoe. Finesse.
Finesse 2 times?
He need to be trying to do a GoFundMe to get Suge out. Big strong head ass hoe. Finesse.
But y'all from the same city.
And we too.
So
he
finesse.
too. Y'all trying to use me for clout. This bitch be on Twitch 14 hours at a time.
But you use your sister for clout. Oh my God. See, this is, listen, I be talking about the same thing on social media. All right. People do this thing. And this is why I don't take a lot of people serious on this, John. All right. Because they'll sit here and do something like this, then come and complain when someone else does it to them. Like, hold up. Wait a minute. I told y'all, I think I woke up in the wrong dimension.
Time he sleep on Twitch.
He slept on Twitch?
Yeah. Oh God. Oh, mine finesse, mine. He coming for like I'm saying, though. See, I got time to go back and forth with you, bitch. These rich ass rappers don't. Because you already got booted out the rap scene. How the you go from an artist to a comedian?
You started off as a comedian.
Exactly.
You doing it right.
I don't even be trying to be funny though.
But that's why both of y'all is hilarious.
Nah, his ass, he's a mess. He's sad. That's what he is.
Hello? I'm pretty sure Finesse got the money to get Suge out, but she on bond hold, you know.
That might. I told him to do the challenge.
What's the challenge?
60,000. Count out 60,000 on your Twitch or whatever the fuck. Right. He ain't even do it. He went on streaming crying and shit. That's what the fuck he did.
You can't tell him to do that when you ain't even got 2,500.
But he been in the game longer than me though.
What game?
All that silver shit in his mouth he should have.
But this is what I'm saying. People get that.
Now I got more than 2,500 people. Now.
Yeah, I know you got it. Thanks. Yeah, I help. People get them advances, like, and you got to pay that shit back. Like, I don't know how much your sister got. I don't know.
What I'm saying, though, you think she ain't got that back?
She got on Kirk Franklin. She got that back.
Yeah, but
she got that back. But you just said y'all was cords. You had to sneak in her show. She don't with you. You done did something.
No, it was just an incident with gloss.
So she hold grudge. What she do? Because I'm still blocked.
But
so
she gonna hate this.
No, I mean
she probably gonna sue me and you after this. She gonna hate this. She goes, I'm on here with somebody she blocked. She went for the nigga I blocked. She finna be mad as a mother.
What I know about us ghetto people, we laugh at shit like this.
Gonna be like my op picking up. I'm like, what? Oh, she finna be mad as hell.
I'm not an op.
Cause she blocked you. But I ain't blocked her.
It's called sensitive. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She probably sees on my story.
Oh, she saw it.
Oh, you scared now? I'm dead.
Unblock you.
Please curse me out. Unblock me and curse me out. Like, let me know, like, you still with me. Like, at least say, bitch ass nigga, you know that my sister. And I'm gonna read it how you talk.
What the hell?
I know. And then I know we cool. So GLORILLA know I love. I don't really care about social media. Like, it don't prove nothing because even after that, like, she came here to the big jam. I hugged on stage. I was on stage with. Like, I don't be caring about shit like that. People take social media. People will cry if you unfollow them. Like, bitch ass nigga, what you unfollow me for, bitch? Like,
yo, he ain't lying. But listen, I'm gonna pause it right there. All right, y'all can go check that out yourselves. But this whole situation is wild. All right, like, here's the truth. All right, family goes through, ups and downs. That part, like I said earlier, is normal. That part is human. It's universal. The problem is when people take those ups and downs and drag them onto the internet. Like, it's a talent show. All right. Should it be online? Absolutely not. But some people don't care. Money is more important now. All right. Clout is more important now. Attention is more important now. Folks will expose their whole bloodline for a few dollars in a trending hashtag. And that's, that part, that confuses me. Right? Is this about money? Is this about childhood wounds? Is this about, how, they were raised? Or is this about the internet rewarding dysfunction? What's the real currency? How can I say people are chasing money or validation? And let's be honest. All right. I said it earlier. All right. I don't listen to GLORILLA's music. I don't even know, what she raps about. Right? I don't like today's rappers, like that. The only one I rock with is Dej Loaf because she got her own lane and she don't move messy. But this ain't about music, all right? It's about behavior. It's about patterns. It's about how fast people will turn their personal, life into public entertainment. When did privacy become optional, right? And drama become a career path? Social media came out in 2002. The internet has been out longer than that. All right. So I want y'all to think about that. And I'm speaking from experience. Right. When I was caught up in family drama online, I was young. Right. I was reacting out of emotion, not wisdom. I thought clapping back meant, man, I was doing something. I thought matching energy meant, I was strong, but really, I was just feeding a cycle that, designed. How can I say that was designed to keep me stuck? And now I look back like, girl, what were you, what was you doing? What was you thinking? Like, how many of us had to learn, all right, the hard way that the internet is not the place, all right, to heal family wounds? And I don't get tired of saying it. My kids helped me grow up. My oldest son literally grew up with me, all right? I said it earlier. I was a baby having a baby, and my son grounded me, all right? He matured me. He made me realize that everything I do, everything I say, everything I post, he's watching. And I refuse to let him grow up thinking dysfunction was normal. That's why I stepped away. That's why I cut people off. That's why I stopped entertaining the drama. All right. What does it take for someone to finally say, I'm done with this cycle? And that's why, I look at situations like GLORILLA and BRORILLA and I'm confused. Is this about money? Is this about, childhood trauma? Is it about, who said what? Or is this about the internet turning everything into a spectacle? Because when family drama goes public, it's rarely about the issue. It's about the attention. And once the internet gets involved, the truth gets lost. Do you think that this is, real life family pain or just another storyline for the internet to consume? I'm just asking an honest question, right? Like, I'm about to type this down. Give me 1 second. All right. All right. At the end of the day, like, I don't judge them. I just recognize the pattern. All right. I lived it. I've outgrown it. And now, now and now I know, how dangerous it is when you let the internet into your family business. Because once it's out there, you can't take it back. And once people, how can I say, start telling their, how can I say, not telling. Once people start selling their souls, all right, for attention, they don't realize what they've lost until it's gone. Like, is the internet worth losing your family, your peace, and your dignity over? Like, I want to ask this, right? And I'm supposed to put it as a poll, but I got to do this on Twitch, man. And I forgot to say shout out to those that are on Twitch, man. For real, for real. I apologize for that. Like, what do you think, the GLORILLA and BRORILLA situation is really about? Is it about money and fame, childhood wounds, right? And how they were raised, attention and clout? Or is it like a mix of everything? And in my opinion, I feel like it's a mix of everything. But I could be tripping. I could be tripping. All right. And it says I'm talking to myself, right? Let's keep going. All right. Like, we gotta be real for a second, right? If this whole GLORILLA and BRORILLA situation is really about how they were raised, then both of them already exposed each other. They told their stories, they shared their childhoods, right? They aired out the good, the bad, and the ugly. And honestly, that's what a lot of us do. We tell our stories. We talk about our upbringing. We talk about our trauma. But the difference is how we tell it and why we tell it. Some people share, all right, to heal. Others share to hurt. Like, when does storytelling become healing and when does it become a weapon? Whether it's online or offline, right? And that's why I always say we got to be careful with the, dirty laundry we air out online. Because once it's out there forever. Screenshots don't disappear, videos don't vanish, people don't forget. And whether the story is good or bad, the internet gonna talk, right? They're gonna twist it, remix it, exaggerate it, and turn it into something you never intended. Why give strangers, all right? How can I say ammunition they will gladly use against you later? Let's be honest, all right? A lot of us grew up in the hood. A lot of us didn't, right? A lot of us didn't have perfect homes. Some houses were clean, some were dirty, right? Some had roaches, some had rats, some had traps. Shit. Some parents worked 2 jobs. Some parents were, how can I say, on supplemental income. Some parents were barely holding it together. We all struggled in different ways. So when people expose each other's upbringing, right, like it's a scandal, I'm like, baby, right? Baby. That's half the country. Why shame someone for a childhood they didn't choose? Come on, man. Like, and the real question is why? Why certain people, how can I get why not certain people? Why certain information, all right, gets put out there? Because sometimes it's not about truth. That's why. It's about revenge. It's about embarrassment. It's about control. It's about hurting someone, right, in the deepest way possible. And that's why, this situation with the 2 sisters, all right, feels tricky. It doesn't feel like healing. It feels like, how can I say, retaliation. It feels like pain talking. It feels like wounds that never got treated. How much of what we see online is really pain disguised as keeping it real? And I'm speaking from experience. When I was young, I responded out of emotions, not wisdom. I let anger drive me. I let, triggers control me. I let people push buttons they knew too well. And I thought responding meant that I was strong. Right? It meant that I was doing something at that time to me. But really, I was just exposing myself. All right. I was giving people access to parts of me they didn't deserve. And I look back now like, girl, you was fighting battles that didn't even matter. How many of us have learned the hard way that silence is sometimes, the strongest response? What does it take for someone to finally choose peace over, pettiness? Like, this GLORILLA and BRORILLA, situation hit different because when family drama goes public, it's really about the issue, right? It's rarely about the issue. That's the crazy part. It's mostly about attention when it comes out online. Like, it's about the validation. It's about the internet choosing sides. But the truth is, nobody online can fix what happened in that house growing up, right? Like, nobody online can heal childhood wounds. Nobody can rewrite the past. Only the person that's been through it, that, is going through it, has been through it, can. Like, why do people expect the internet to solve problems that started long before the internet existed? At the end of the day, whether this is about money, upbringing, jealousy, or pain, it's still family. And once you expose family online, you can't take it back. You can apologize, you can reconcile, you can heal, but the internet will always remember that. The question is, are you strong enough, right, to get past through it? That's why I say be careful, be intentional, be wise, because some people pretend like they have nothing to lose, but they lose everything anyway, right? Their peace, their relationships, their dignity. And they only realize it when it's too late. Like, is the moment of clout worth the lifetime of consequences behind it? It's a question can't nobody answer. All right. Now, if it was just about the family drama and issues, right? Like I said earlier, we just hit on that. Now I want to touch about, like, let's put this aspect out there, right? It's just another, how can I say, another opinion, another, how can I say, theory that I got in mind, another conclusion that I have, right? Now, let's talk about the money side of this GLORILLA and BRORILLA situation, because that's what, this is really about, right? then these two, like when it comes to that, I feel as though these two sisters should have handled this offline, even with the family, right? Period. Both aspects of it, right? Whichever way you want to look at it, it should have been handled offline. Money conversations don't, belong on the internet, especially when it's family. But some people don't know how to move in silence. Some people don't know how to have private conversations. Some people don't know how to separate business from bitterness. Why do people run to the internet before they run to the person they actually have the issue with? Another question can't nobody ever really answer. And let's be real, right? I keep hearing that the older sister thinks, the younger sister owes her. We just seen it ourselves. Because, they were brought up together. Baby, that's not how life works. We all grew up, all right? We all grew up with somebody. We all had siblings, cousins, friends, neighbors, all right, who struggled with us. That doesn't mean that they owe us their paycheck. That doesn't mean they owe us their success. That doesn't mean, they owe us, how can I say, their blessings. Why do people feel entitled to, rewards that they didn't earn? Like, if it's like that, shit, GLORILLA, go ask Cardi B for some bread. She's more successful than GLORILLA, from what I see. Got more millions too, shit. But anyways, now, if the older sister was there, like I'm saying, like really there, like supporting her, rocking with her, helping her, pushing her, sacrificing for her. Then if the younger sister said, I wanted to bless her, that's a different story. That's love, that's gratitude, that's choice. But entitlement, that's a whole different demon. All right. And too many people confused. I was, how can I say? I was young when I contributed to this type of stuff, right? Now y'all grew it, right? Like, how many people think proximity equals participation? And let's stop acting like, this is, people keep saying, oh, this is, some new generation stuff. No, it's not. This has been happening forever. Family wanting, how can I say, what they didn't work for. Family feeling entitled to success. Family thinking, their, other blessings belong to them. This is ancient behavior. The only difference is now that people got Wi-Fi and they ring light, all right? So, why do people act like, clout created entitlement when entitlement been around since forever, even before the internet? Mind you, the internet came out in 2002. Social media came out in 2002. The internet came out way before that, right? Way before that. It's just wild. Listen, you know what? Let's be honest, all right? Some people, how can I say, don't want to work for their own. They want shortcuts. They want handouts. They want, the benefits about the grind, right? They want the spotlight without the sacrifice. And when someone close to them makes it, suddenly they feel cheated. Suddenly they feel, old. Suddenly they feel like they deserve a piece of the pie, right? On some George Jefferson type shit. We're moving on up, right? But dude, you ain't work for that piece of pie. You wasn't even there. All right? For you over here fighting for the piece of pie that you didn't even bake. Why do people expect blessings they didn't bleed for? You want to walk a mile in this person's shoes, whether they related or not, and take the credit that they worked hard for, but you don't want to bear, right? You don't want to bear the cross that they carry. And here's the part nobody wants to say out loud, right? Sometimes the person who was there wasn't really there. Sometimes, they were, how can I say, they were a part of the problem. Sometimes they were the ones causing pain. Sometimes they were the ones holding you back. Sometimes they were the ones laughing at your drama. But the moment you make it, suddenly they remember every time they handed you a cup of water, like it was, life-changing, like they were your life support. Like if what they were doing was a life-changing contribution, why do people rewrite history the moment money, enters the equation? All right, and let's talk about the real question. right? Right. Like, now that she's up, does she feed the family? Why am I saying that? This is why. Now that she up, does she feed the family?
Who is it? One and the only Scarface, aka GLORILLA, aka you did. You know what I'm saying? What the dance like a dance? You did.
Yo, what's
So,
happening? Papa Duck.
oh, not yet, Papa Duck, not yet. Chill. We ain't getting to you yet. Calm down. We got you, Papa Duck. All right. Is she? Did she give back? Did she show love? Because if she did, then the older sister, like the younger sister is wrong, right? According to her. And if she didn't, that's still her choice. That's not an obligation for someone that has made it to give you something. Because success doesn't come with a contract that says you owe everybody, whoever stood next to you, something. Is helping a family a responsibility or a choice? And I feel as though that is a choice. Right? At the end of the day, this whole situation is tricky because it's layered. Money, upbringing, jealousy, entitlement, pain, childhood wounds, right? And the internet stirring up the pot. But the one thing that is clear, family drama mixed with money and social media is a recipe, for disaster. And once you expose your family online, you can't take that drama back. Right? That's why I always say move with wisdom, not emotion. Is the internet worth losing your family, your peace, and your dignity over? Right? Like, let me say this, right? Before I even move into the other topics, right? Because, and we're still on the same gorilla and gorilla, and I don't know if anybody's touched on this yet. But after watching the videos, reading messages, reading comments, right, and how everything unfolded, I've come to the conclusion a lot of people, and I've been saying it throughout this whole life, that I don't see a lot of people touching on, right? I think I've seen maybe one or two if I'm not mistaken. But the mother seems like the real issue here. And that's not, surprising because a lot of us grew up, with toxic parents. But this situation, this is a different level. This is manipulation mixed with favoritism, right? It's mixed with money, mixed with emotional warfare. And when the mother is the one stirring the pot, the whole family ends up cooking, in the same mess. So let me ask y'all, how do you expect siblings to heal when the person who raised them keeps reopening wounds? And what makes it even messier is that the text messages have been exposed. The text messages expose the dynamic. Like, you could see the mother playing both sides. You could see her putting, the siblings against each other. You could see her using guilt, money, and emotional pressure to control the situation. And that's the part, that feels messed up. Because when a parent is the problem, the kids end up fighting, battles that were never, how can I say, theirs to begin with. Like, how many of us grew up fighting each other, when the real issues was the parent who taught us to fight? And let's be real, all right? A lot of celebrities have the same, how can I say, pattern. Toxic parents who see, how can I say, their child's success as a paycheck. Parents who didn't protect their kids growing up, but but want, how can I say, to profit off of them now. Parents who create chaos because chaos keeps them, relevant. It's sad, but it's common. Fame doesn't fix dysfunction, right? It magnifies it. So let me ask y'all, right? Why do so many parents treat their children like investments instead of human beings? And the tricky part is, when it comes to these two sisters, it's that the mother seems to be the one feeding the fire, right? She's the one whispering in ears. She's the one choosing sides. She's the one like pushing narratives. And when parents do that, the siblings end up fighting shadows instead of each other. Like, they think they're arguing about money or childhood or loyalty, but really they're arguing about the emotional damage their, mother or father never healed in themselves. Like, how do you break a cycle, right, that started before you were even born? Because this is wild. Like, and I'm not judging them, because a lot of us been there. A lot of us, had parents who played favoritisms, right? Parents who lied, parents who manipulate, parents who, use siblings as pawns, parents who created that division because, unity meant they couldn't control you anymore. And when you grow up in that environment, you don't even realize how toxic it is until you step, back and see the patterns from outside. Like, how many of us have had to unlearn the dysfunction our parents normalized? And it's happened. I mean, it happens a lot. Like, that's why I said this earlier. I don't know these people personally. I don't know their full story. I only know what I've, researched and what I saw. But from the outside looking in, it's clear the mother plays a major role, in this mess. And when the parent is the source of the chaos, the kids end up carrying trauma that ain't theirs, right? They end up fighting each other instead of healing together. Like, how do siblings rebuild when the foundation they grew up in already was so cracked? Maybe I'm asking the wrong questions. I don't know. And, that's why I opened up the floor. The link is, in the chat for anybody who wants to, come up and share their perspectives, because I don't know everything. I don't pretend to, right? I only speak of what I've seen, what I've lived, and what I've learned. And before, I move on to Pastor McNutt, I want to hear from y'all, because some of y'all, some of you might know more. Some of you might, relate. And some of you might, live through the same exact dynamic. Like, what do you see when you look into this situation, right? Is it pain, manipulation, or a cry for help? Like, or is it all the above? Like, at the end of the day, right, whether it's money, upbringing, or manipulation, one thing is clear: the family is hurting, right? And when a mother pits her children against each other, the damage runs deep. It affects adulthood, it affects relationships, it affects self-worth, and it affects how siblings see each other for the rest of their lives. That's why conversations like this matter, because some of us are still healing, right, from the same wounds. Like, are we ready to break the generational patterns our parents never had the courage to face? Like, this is wild. Really, really wild. Let me put the link right here. All right, if anybody wants to come up, all right, speak on this on the social media, pick a side, GLORILLA BRORILLA situation for a few minutes, y'all can, before I even, touch on the Pastor McNutt situation. All right, let me put this on. All right. If anybody wants to come up, y'all more than welcome.
Religiously, understand the 7 principles of hell. You understand the 7 demons within you. You understand the whole concept. It's a whole metaphysical concept. We ain't go over that, but anyway, so from a spiritual standpoint now when we say demons are owners, what happens when you vibrate in that frequency, when you have those emotions? Understand what emotions are. Your soul has to express itself. How does it express itself? With energy. That's how your soul expresses itself, with energy. These feelings, these emotions that you have, that's your soul expressing yourself. So now when you get into emotion, energy and motion, that's your
8, that makes sense. That kind of explains why I feel the way that I feel and I perceive things the way that I do. Check this out, coach. In a family of tradition, I stand out like a sore thumb. Born into the wrong lineage, feeling like I'm on the run. Surrounded by expectations that I can never meet. Yearning for a different fate, longing for retreat. Mismatched with my bloodline, an outsider in my own home. Struggling to find my place, feeling lost all alone. Dreaming of a different life, where I could truly be free. Cursed with this legacy that never quite fits me. Not just born into the wrong generation, but the wrong family too. Bound by blood ties that suffocate and constrain my view. Searching for acceptance in a world that doesn't understand. Destined to break free from this legacy unplanned. I just question everything. Like,
They say he's portrayed as a deceiver, but in the scriptures, his words seem pure. If he spoke without deceit, what does that say about the Lord's esteem? You argue over his motives, trying to reconcile the contradictions. If he was truthful indeed, what does that say about the divine's needs? Lilith, she's in disguise, a woman who brings the skies to ruin. Her heart so cold, a mother, she's in control. Peter Pan was a fairy tale, or was it? When you look around, the majority of the men are childish, never wanna grow up, being messy, causing chaos, living in the world of make-believe, and never taking responsibility. Lilith in disguise, a woman of deceit, causes mental lust and leads them to retreat. A woman who should be cast away in the world of shadows. She lives in the gray. Tinkerbell's light flickers in the darkness of their souls, searching for eternal youth and fun. But time marches on and responsibilities beacon. Will they ever learn to put away their toys and become men? Lost boys playing games, never wanting to face reality, flying through life with no direction or purpose, avoiding adulthood like it's a plague to be avoided, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. Lilith, a mother she should be, but in her heart she's free. She abandons her duty, leaving her children in disarray. Lust in her game, to men she plays, she leads them astray, and they pay the price. Karma. I guess people don't understand that karma can go both ways. It just depends on how, your mind perceives it. Karma can go, real deep if you're not careful.
Bro, do you know that the missing component, people think to feel. Again, you're working from the outside in. You have to work from the inside out. Right. The reason people can't manifest because they don't even believe they can have what they asking for. You gotta match that frequency. And belief is the feeling, it's not a thought. Right? This is where people get all this mixed up. So if you feel to think, feel to think. This is why you have dream boards and stuff like that, right? They want you to look at it and use those 5 senses. Any practitioner teaching you how to manifest things, what do they always say? Go and put yourself around the things you want. Why? So you can use those 5 senses so you can get a feeling of what the things are. So now you have a clearer picture of what the things are. So now people will try to manifest and look for the object they manifesting, but they not matching the frequency of it. So what happens is the universe gives you things to build you up to matching that frequency, to your own personal belief that you even deserve what you're asking for.
Yo, you spitting some gems right there, coach. But for those of y'all in the background, man, check this out, yo. They say karma's bad, but is it true? Depending on your actions, that's how she'll come for you. She's a friend to me, but an enemy in your head. Karma brings me peace, while in your mind she spreads dread. We blame God for the problems around us, turning a deaf ear to our own mistakes. We blame the devil for our misguided actions, lost in the shadows of regret and mistakes. Elders criticize, youth rebel in return, cutting off potential, lessons unlearned. Butterflies trapped in cocoons, dreams adjourned. A cycle of disrespect, the flames still burn. Parents strive growth, children push away. Generations clash, never finding a way. In heaven in progress, the price we pay. Butterflies grounded, never to sway. The cycle repeats, a never-ending chain. Misunderstandings persist, causing pain. Lost potential lingers like a stain. Generations at odds, searching in vain. We're stuck in a cycle of pain and sorrow, hoping for a better tomorrow. Black lives matter, white lives matter too. It's time to unite and break through. I'm just saying, it's 2025, but it feels like it's 1942. Black lives matter, white lives matter. That's the plea. Blaming the white man for all the hate that we see. Yet we're still killing our own kin. Can't break free. Struggling to find peace in this chaotic scene. Racism and violence tearing at the seams. Pointing fingers while we continue to demean. Looking ahead with hope in our hearts. Learning from our past mistakes, making new starts. Together we stand against all that tears us apart. Black or white, it's time for a fresh start. We're quick to point fingers at others, but in reality, it's ourselves that we need. The power to change lies within us. Why blame others when we can be our own lead? Just a little food for thought.
But they done tricked you. They done told you it's something outside you coming into you. That's how they get you to accept God is outside you. That's that whole concept. God knows it's in you. That's why when you have a deep desire, things come true. When you get that feeling of God your way. Because that's truth. But it's not outside of you, it's inside. They don't want you to know it's inside. Because there's a group of people, it's not inside of you. They have to get you to participate and give that energy away so they can have those experiences. And that's what most people do, by worshiping something outside themselves. You're giving that energy away. I should have done this on the version.
In the balance of right and wrong, karma scales tip where they belong. She rewards my deeds with serenity, but in your thoughts, she breeds enmity. What you sow, you shall reap. Karma's justice runs deep. I find solace in her embrace, while she hunts you with no grace. In the wrong generation, lost in time's illusion. God's mixed up in my mother's womb, a cosmic confusion. Feeling out of place, like a puzzle piece misplaced. Searching for my purpose in this unfamiliar space. Born into a world that doesn't quite fit. A old soul trapped in a modern day script. Yearning for simplicity, longing for connection. In a fast-paced world of constant rejection, I navigate this life with an ancient soul's gaze. Struggling to find my path in these chaotic days. Perhaps God had a plan beyond what I can see, to challenge me to grow and set my spirit free.
But they done tricked you. They done told you it's something outside you coming into you. That's how they get you to accept God is outside you. That's that old concept. God, no, it's in you. That's why when you have a deep desire, things come true. When you get that feeling of God made away. Because that's true. But it's not outside of you, it's inside. They don't want you to know it's inside. Because there's a group of people, it's not inside of them. They have to get you to participate and give that energy away so they can have those experiences. And that's what most people do, by worshiping something outside themselves. You're giving that energy away.
It's to a word.
I should have did this on the word.
All right. Since ain't nobody touched the link, all right, we're gonna move on. Cause I ain't gonna be talking to myself like 10 hours, like I'm pulling a shift on this job. So I'm gonna move on. We keep talking. So let's touch on this Pastor McNut situation, because in my opinion, right, my opinion on him hasn't changed, and it's not going to. What he's accused of is beyond disgusting, beyond betrayal, beyond anything a community should ever have to tolerate. And while, I can't speak on, street justice on this platform, y'all know exactly what I mean when I say accountability needs to be real, not symbolic. But by law, he should be behind bars, right? Period. And the fact that, we even have to debate this shows how broken the system, is. But it's not broken. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing, right? But we'll talk about that, on another live. All right, on another live. Like, why do people, who harm children always seem to get the, how can I say, most protection? We talked about this man before, right? And how can I say, nothing about how I think or feel has changed. What shocks me is every time, right, is how many adults hide behind titles: pastors, coach, teachers, officers, mentors, and and use that power to harm the very kids they're supposed to protect. And society lets them. The church lets them, the community lets them, the system lets them, and then everybody acts surprised when the truth comes out. How many titles do we have to strip away before we admit danger was the person, not the position? All right. So for you to understand what I am saying, you would have to watch part 1, part 2 of this live. All right. But let's check this video out, because according to sources, right, and shout out to Chronicle Speaks, all right, TD McNut under investigation, Junior removed from the home, right, and mind-blowing allegations. So we're going to skim through this video, all right, and we're going to see what's going on, because it seems like we have, I guess, a victim coming out and speaking up.
And contacted DCFS. I really want to start this video by saying thank you. I appreciate every single person who reached out, made calls, sent emails, and contacted DCFS regarding Junior, also known as Quinardo, and the situation involving Apostle TD McNut. That's what he calls himself. Because of those collective efforts, there is now an open investigation into this matter. And more importantly, Junior has been removed from that home and has been placed with family members on his mother's side for his safety and well-being. That did not happen by accident. That happened because people paid attention, people spoke up, and people refused to look the other way. There's real power in numbers, and what TD McNut intended to be a moment of embarrassment for this young man, a video meant to shame and humiliate him publicly, became his own undoing. The community didn't see discipline. The community didn't see correction. The community saw a child in distress, and instead of scrolling past it, people stood up, they made calls, they shared resources, they advocated, and they protected. And that is exactly what adults are supposed to do when a child cannot protect themselves. This situation has now reached far beyond one household. It has gained national and international attention. And because of that visibility, there is real hope that Junior will not be placed back into an environment where concerns have already been raised. That being said, activist Jedediah Brown, I've been following him since the Kanika case.
Yep.
He has been on this case like white on rice. He has been down in West Palm Beach, Florida. He's talked to mcnut. He's spoken with family members, church members, but what shocked me the most is this flyer that he pulled up from 2016. This is at the Jesus Christ International Ministries Incorporated. It says, "Come and hear a life-changing testimony. I almost married a man. I almost married a man. Come and join us this 5th Sunday, July 30th.
Yo, that is wild, man. Listen, I said it in the first part, man. Something about this bull, man, is nasty. When we did the live about Pastor mcnut, I don't know. Listen, and it's crazy. When are we gonna come out with, how can I say, putting away all priests, pastors, and stuff like that do this?
1st, 2016, for a dynamic, life-changing testimony from Apostle T.D. McNutt. T.D. McNutt Ministries International, West Palm Beach, Florida. This man, who claims to be a psychologist, which we'll get into later, obviously has some things that he's battling within himself, and being around these young boys is not helping.
You had some, didn't you? I know you tried to eat. You ate it. I know you did. You got a strong mouth, man of God.
What?
So God is great and greatly to be praised. Hallelujah.
And all that. And so then we're gonna help our young people.
Absolutely. Yes.
That's it. That's all. So y'all get ready. And I have not selected the panel yet, glory to God's name, but I'm gonna pick the most transparent people to talk.
Amen.
Amen. We can't be up there. Oh, I used to do. God did a lot from. I don't want to hear that.
Amen.
I want to hear just what you did.
Yes.
It seems like a lot of people are looking at this pastor more like, I cannot say, a God. Like they worshiping this man, and it seems like he's feeding off of it. It seems like he's trying to start like some type of cult type shit. And maybe I could be wrong. All right. And it seems like his aim, right? And like, bull, is kids. His target is kids.
And the only way you can love a person is through truth.
Amen.
Yes. Hallelujah. Let's get a little bit more word. We're going to go. I'm so excited about this Prince Abraham that's showing up today. Glory to God's name. Hallelujah. And he has no idea, but that's how I'm going to address him. That's how I want you all to address him. All right.
He's Prince.
All right. He's Prince Abraham. All right. And so God is a great God above all God.
That's that other young boy that the mom was talking about. And that's why I question, like, why did the mom even, leave her son with him? Why are these parents doing this? Some of them are saying because, the father is not in the picture, but so you just going, like, family or not, I'm raising my child. I decided to make this kid. I'm going to raise this kid.
Hallelujah. And so I'm looking forward to, glory to God's name, this transformation that he'll come into. But when I see him, the first thing I'm going to say to him, King of Glory, at the airport in Fort Lauderdale, first thing I'm going to say to him is, I love you. Welcome home. That's all I'm gonna say to him. Bless you, Minister Russell. That's what I'm gonna say to him. Now I know he lives in Chicago. I get it, but I'm a Mississippi boy. Glory to God's name. And Mississippi is a hospitality state. Glory to God's name. Hallelujah. Okay. And so then that's how we move prophetically in our family. Glory to God's name. And so I'm gonna hug him and say, welcome home. Glory to God's name. Hallelujah. I've already got
to hear from Nikita, who is Prince Abraham's mother, but she was also the stepmother to Cam.
Get to a better state.
Oh, wow.
To be a better man that I want him to be. So I entrusted him with my son, and I should have never done that. I did not sleep. I did not eat. And he eventually said to me, okay, I'm going to send him home. And he sent him home on Saturday. And my son got home. As soon as I picked my son up from the airport, he gave me hugs. But my son the next morning woke up and said, Mom, you need to confront T.D. McNutt because he hurt me.
Huh?
And now this is personal for me because he tried to do the same. He tried to break my son. My son is very intelligent, My son is very strong internally. I spent a lot of time with my children, pouring so much into my children.
So why would you leave him in the arms of someone else? Family or not, man. If I'm raising my child, I'm putting all my effort into it, and I'm raising my child to grow up a certain way. I'm not just gonna be throwing him over here or have him house hopping from house to house. Oh, I'm single, I'm by myself. No, a lot of us, listen, man. Shout out to a lot of these mothers out here. All right. I know that fathers are needed in the homes, all right, but sometimes, all right, we got to be really real. Sometimes there's a reason that the father is not there. It could be that, may they have peace in paradise. They're not there with, their child and the person, they made the child with. Or they behind bars. Does it excuse? No. All right. They listen, they could be an abuser, a molester. You see where I'm coming from? And there's could be plenty of reasons why a father isn't in the home. All right. Sometimes it could be, like a lot of situations, right, which people say is new, but it's been happening for a while too, right? The mom is the reason why the father is not in the home. All right. So whether it's a single mother or a single father, we got to keep pushing, because there are a lot of single fathers out here and they do a hell of a good job out here raising their kids by themselves with no mother in the picture. The problem is, right, when we start accepting help from those that we know deep down we shouldn't be accepting it from. All right. And we push away those that really want to help with good intentions. That's the crazy part. But some people are not, how can I say, bold enough to admit that.
And he tried to break that down within a couple of days.
How many days is this that we're talking about?
We're talking about 5-day span.
I wish you did wake up a whole lot sooner, but better late than never. Is Junior in trouble, in your opinion?
He is. He is. He needs to get out. He needs to get out, and we need to get him out because he will be next. My son did witness Junior getting beat as well.
Oh, wow.
He witnessed TD, McNut, and Carmisha go into the room. He said he sat with Cameron and watched the whole movie. They were still in the room. And then the second movie came on. 30 minutes into the room, he finally came out of the room, huffing and puffing and going into the bathroom. And my son was looking to see if he could go in and find out what happened and if he could comfort Junior. And Cameron told him, no, don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. Sit down. It's okay.
Oh, MG, why is this sounding kind of like Pastor McNut is Diddy, right? And Cameron, the young bull, is Usher turning Justin Bieber. It's, it's crazy, but it's like, listen, be careful with who you leave your kids with, all right? Listen, let's talk about the youth, because they don't just get failed by the system. They get failed by their parents too. All right. I'm not saying that every parent is bad, but some parents are not doing their job. Some parents are not protecting their kids. Some parents are not paying attention. Some parents are so wrapped up in their own chaos, they don't even notice their child is drowning. And when something happens, everybody wants to blame the system. All right. How can we expect the system to protect kids when, some parents won't even try? As a parent, it's our job, all right, to protect, nurture, and guide our children, all right, until they can protect themselves. That's the assignment. That's the responsibility. That's the calling. But some parents fail their children so badly, the system becomes the default parent. And the system is not built for love. The system is not built for healing. The system is not built for protection, all right? It's built for paperwork. How many kids end up, in danger because the adults in their life never showed up for them? All right. And listen, once those kids fall into the system, most of them get, fall straight, right through some cracks, neglected, ignored, overlooked, passed around like a file instead of, a human being. And the same system that swears is here to protect them ends up, placing them in homes that were unsafe, unstable, and straight up dangerous. And then, wonder why the kids grow up angry, broken, or lost. How can a system claim to protect children when it keeps placing them in harm's way? Like in this situation.
Okay.
How many times did Junior end up in Pastor McNutt's hands before the system tried to even do something, step in and remove him for a second time? They removed him the first time, but brought him back to the same place. Why not to his mom? What was wrong with his mom that his mom couldn't get him? We'll get into that in a minute.
Abraham said, he just did not feel ease. He did not feel at ease. And that's when he really wanted to come home, because he saw the mother and TD go in that room, and it was a very long time. TD McNut and Carmisha, which is Junior's mother, went into the room for hours.
With Junior.
And
he came out crying.
I thought the mother wasn't there. Like we had, how can I say, reviewed and reacted to on the first video. Something is not right.
Yes.
Children tried to see why he was crying, and Cameron.
My son Abraham tried to go and see what was wrong with Junior, and Cameron said, "No, sit down. He's okay."
His brother stopped him.
Yes.
That's crazy.
What do you speculate was going on in this room?
I speculate he was getting beat and humiliated and talked about and downed, which is something that he does. He does the humiliation part in the church in front of everyone. He calls Junior a demon. He says, "Well, Junior," and this was the last Sunday service. Junior was in service, and I think he accidentally fell asleep, or he was tired or what have you. And TD McNutt called him out in front of everyone and called him a demon and told him to go stand up at the wall and wake himself up, and and then gave a little bit of 5-minute. It was about 2 to 5 minutes of degrading and humiliating that little boy in front of everyone.
And y'all watched and didn't say nothing. I'm confused.
So y'all remember the initial case? Junior got in trouble at school. He lifted up his shirt to show the reason why he did not want them to call McNutt. They contacted him anyway. He was arrested, and then there was a no contact order to where he was not supposed to contact Junior, although he was still in contact with Junior's mother, Carmisha, who happens to be his cousin, and he was giving Carmisha advice on how to parent Junior in his absence. With that being said, the investigation was closed, but you won't believe why.
Now, there are so many people. We discovered that Mr. McNutt potentially have wrote some of the protocols for the child protective services of the area he lived in. Y'all don't want to hear this. I'm talking about, do you all hear what I'm saying? That Mr. McNutt might have been an advisor to the government of West Palm Beach, Florida, or to the DCF as the state of Florida. And some of the stuff about sexual abuse, relationships, and adoption. Okay. So let me say this in a different way. When we were on our way to Florida, we was wondering why we kept getting calls about the laws of the state. Oh shit, everything sticks out to me because he knows somebody in power in the state. So wait a minute. If
he's freaking connected, man, like I've been saying, yo. Some of these kids get placed with family members who should have never been trusted with a goldfish, let alone a child. And that's how these young souls end up in caskets or in, the streets, becoming a menace to society. Not because they were born bad, but because every adult responsible for them, failed to protect them, failed to guide them, failed to love them. And then society blames the child instead of, how can I say, the chain of adults who dropped the ball. Why do we judge the outcome without ever questioning the environment that created it? And that's why these cases like Pastor McNutt make me so angry, yo. On some real shit, I ain't gonna sit here and lie. Because it's not just about, one man. It's about a pattern, right? A pattern of adults abusing power. A pattern of institution covering up things. A pattern of kids being silenced. A pattern of communities being gaslit. Right? A pattern of predators hiding behind robes, badges, titles, reputations, right? And every time it happens, the world acts shocked, like, oh, this is brand new. How many times do we have to see the same story before we, demand real accountability? This ain't new. It's been happening.
If there is an investigation, I have to wonder if the people are encouraged to see this through because of their relationship or because they may have a hand in knowing a person. Y'all ain't ready for this conversation.
No, they not.
I'm sitting here with my team and I'm like, how do I deal with this? And what do we say? Because if we go, they kept pressing us. And I'm like, well, we're going to get in late. They was like, no, we really want to see you tonight. I believe that if I would have pulled up in that moment, I might have gone to jail for harassment via electronic means. Couldn't say that to y'all. So then I had to use my influence to start making phone calls. What's going on in the state? Who knows somebody? What's happening? Well, Mr. McNutt helped write some of the policies or some of the stuff inside of the DCFS. And then I got to talk to somebody close to him who actually said that to me. And I was like, wow, well, there goes my confirmation. So don't tell me that.
Oh, wow. Why this sounds like an episode, one of the new episodes straight out of Law and Order. Yo, I know I'm not tripping. Hold on, baby. Give me 1 second. Like, I know I'm not tripping. This sounds like one of the episodes. Like, I know Law and Order didn't predict this. But see, they know where they're getting these stories from. That he was in deep. He had deep connections, all right? Well,
the DCFS did an investigation, and that should make me feel calm because it ain't shit that they couldn't find if they had a person who did their job and was dedicated and simply scrolled these people's social media pages. They would have never then closed this damn case and moved on and said ain't nothing to see here. Should have never happened.
So if this is indeed true, this man is protected and he is trusted. And not only that, he is able to get new individuals to come to him and trust him through counseling.
Psychology is my realm.
So he lives in West Palm Beach, Florida. We checked Florida to see if he was licensed as a psychologist. But I said, you know what? Let's just go ahead and select any. He could be a nurse. He could be an optometrist. He could work in dentistry. Let's see if he has any licensing to work in the state of Florida as a psychologist. So we have any for profession. We have his last name here, McNutt. Then we go searching. We have all of these McNuts, but we do not see Tavares. But let's go and search again. Let's go ahead to page number 3. I see everyone but Tavares. Tavares is Tavares. I don't see it. Do you? And I know you may be thinking, well, maybe he got his license in another state, and that could very well be true. But to practice as a psychologist in Florida, you must be licensed by the Florida Board of Psychology, even if you're fully licensed elsewhere. So
that's crazy. This is sounding like, even though he's not in this category, right? I think if I'm not mistaken, wasn't they saying that about Dr. Rashid something, the boy that does, the podcasting here on YouTube, exposing a lot of stuff that happens in the Black community, right? I think Dr. Rashid, they're saying that he got a fake license because he got his own line and they couldn't find a real, certificate saying that he was a real doctor, yeti. It seems like there's a lot of that going on. And what's crazy is, right, going back to TD McNutt, right, he has deep connections and no certificates, no license verification is able, they wasn't able to pull none of that to verify that he is actually a psychologist. That is crazy.
Name would be here and it's not. He is the owner of Revealed Counseling Center LLC in West Palm Beach, Florida. Here you see his logo. He has the boys here on his Facebook page. So we have the Revealed Counseling Center here. It was established January 4th, 2017. He's listed as a professional counselor, but the location of this business, Portofino Way, this is an apartment. Then we have none other than yours truly, Mr. T.D. McNutt, as the visionary. Then we have the location here, which is an apartment. So who are you counseling inside of this apartment? Then we have another counseling facility that he calls The Cave. You may have heard him talk about it before, but The Cave, same address. T.D. McNutt is the visionary and the founder. Now, y'all remember this. The Cave's location from what you just saw was at the apartment, right?
he is strengthening the cave. Glory to the name of the Lord. Some of you all may not know, I have a ministry called the Cave. Cave is where many people come and they have all kind of issues, all kind of stuff is discussed and dealt with in the cave. But I want to tell you, not just discussions happen in the cave, but then deliverance happens in the cave. Glory to the name of the Lord. Freedom happens in the cave. Glory to the name of the Lord. Hallelujah. And when the Lord gave me that authentically, glory to the name of the Lord, when the Lord gave me the cave, I was excited about it. And then I'm still excited about the cave. Glory to the name of the Lord. And so, you know, I just wanted to share with you all for a moment here. Hallelujah is what God gave me.
God.
The cave.
I went skip
Hallelujah.
to the
What goes
hallelujah
on in the
part.
cave
Lord
and
have
what's
mercy.
discussed in the cave. Some people don't want
He's
their
still
situations
ranting about this
publicly
damn
known.
cave.
Person to abuse another person sexually, to
Who?
rob. Glory to the name of the Lord. Do you know how many people have been? I mean, in jail.
Is this what you doing? Oh, is you confess? Oh, so is the cave somewhere where you confess? Well, y'all know how I feel, man. This mofo belongs in a casket.
Just don't want to talk about it. They want out. They want help. They want healing. Hallelujah. But don't know where to turn. Don't know what to do. I want to tell you there's a place called the Cave. Glory to the name of the Lord. And there's a man called Apostle McNut. Yeah, I'm here to help. Glory to the name of the Lord.
Let's skip though. Let's see. We got a new person over here talking.
Knowing TD McNut and also an individual that pretty much introduced me to TD McNut. All right, this thing with TD McNut has went viral. I mean, it's really went viral, right? And my wife sent it to me like last week. She sent it to me, and I'm like, I just start instantly thinking back to like, I know this man, like this, what these people are really awing and wowing about, like he's been doing this. So I really realized like through this thing happening that feel like, nigga, you a survivor. Like you a survivor of something that could have literally like took you under. Okay, I'm from St. Louis. I live in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, wow. So he's saying that he remembers TD McNut from his childhood. He's calling TD McNut a survivor. Or is he the survivor? Because the way he's talking. But see, people who normally do this have already been through some trauma. You see where I'm coming from? And they pass this trauma on. And it seems like, you know, hopefully Cameron, all right, it seems like he's another victim. All right, it seems like it, in my opinion. He's the oldest one out of all of them, right? And he seems like he's also a victim, all right? And he's been groomed, in my opinion. But hopefully he gets treatment and he gets help, because I'm not going to sit here and lie. Cameron could keep the cycle going if they don't give him the proper support and the proper help.
Now, been here for 6 years. I'm a musician. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a husband. I'm a father. Okay, so I won't be calling any names and things like that. I'm just gonna talk. So I end up meeting Apostle TD McNut. I'm gonna call him TD McNut. TD McNut. I end up meeting him through an individual that I was connected to. And when I met him, he was always pretty much weird to me for how he talked and how he maneuvered, as far as, in a sense, I would say control and manipulation, even through conversation. It's almost like when he talks, he literally, can manipulate through his words, just how he moves. So I met him through an individual. This was like almost in like 2012. It's 2026 now, but like 2012. I was a musician for this particular person, you know what I'm saying? And that's just where we're at. But
He wasn't that young and he wasn't that old. 2012, I don't know. He looked like he's probably in his 40s right now. I don't know, he was probably in his late 20s.
met him, and the crazy thing about it is the two guys, I think his name was Christian or Chris, and the other guy, I actually remember seeing them at TD McNut's house. Like,
oh, wow.
So I've actually experienced being at TD McNut's house one time through a person I was playing for regarding church ministry and stuff like that. Did not know. So like I said, when I end up seeing TD McNutt's viral thing, when my wife sent it to me, it literally just blew everything up for me mentally wise, as far as what I've been going through for the past 10 years of my life. That's pretty much it. And please know, when you're going through something and you're really going through something, you locked into something, it's kind of hard to get out of. Very hard. Okay. Yeah. So long story short, we go to West Palm Beach, Florida for a preaching engagement. It's either West Palm Beach, Florida or Fort Lauderdale, one of them two. Well, we went to Florida for a preaching engagement, right? We got picked up through TD McNutt. We get in the car. Immediately, we're riding through Florida, doing whatever. As far as going errand runs and stuff, I'm thinking like, what are we doing? We the guests, you know what I'm saying? What are we doing? We picking up trophies and stuff for the awards and stuff. Like, I'm like being serious. Like, I'm literally picking up trophies with my own hands. I'm guest, not trying to say I'm bougie or nothing like that, but I'm trying to get to the story of how the control and manipulation, as soon as you meet a person. So yeah, we're doing all that. And then next thing you know, we had a service that night that we had to play for. We had to check in the hotel. So when I Fort Lauderdale, okay, thank you. So when I get into, that's how y'all know I'm telling the truth, okay? Thank you.
Just
but
get
when
to the story.
I get to the hotel, well, when we get in the car,
this is a serious topic.
Says, well, I heard your back is hurting. I heard your back is hurting. And he didn't ask me if I needed my own room. He just said something regarding about my back hurting, something regarding that. But he was asking me about where I'm going to be staying. And I'm thinking, you know, my room, wherever I'm going to be at. So I ended up staying with the individual in their room. I didn't have my own room for this trip, which was kind of weird for me. But the funny thing, I feel like the individual knew that I wouldn't have my own room. Okay, you get what I'm saying? So it was kind of weird for me. Once again, this is my first time ever playing on the road. This is my first time ever traveling on the road. I'm just excited to be on the road. I'm a younger adult. I'm an adult. All right. So we end up going to the hotel after that. No, we end up going to McDonald's. I'll never forget. I've never, and y'all gonna probably laugh because I'm like a silly person, but when I tell you, I will never forget TD McNutt eating some French fries from McDonald's, like a large French fry, like the way he was turning the steering wheel with his hand while he's eating the French fries. It was like really queenish type behavior. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about the person. I'm literally stating the facts of what I experienced through life. Okay.
Okay. I don't know if he got abused or what, but he's confusing the crap out of me. I mean, I was thinking that he was going to tell us what he really went through, but listen, I'm going to leave that right there. All right. When we ask, where does the failure start? People love to point at the system. All right. They love to point at the system first. And yes, the system is, you know, how can I say, doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. All right. It's broken. That's the plea, but it's not. All right. Like, the truth is, you know, it's harder. The failure often starts at home. When one parent is the aggressor and the other parent stays silent, the silence, all right, becomes a second wound. A child doesn't just experience the harm. They experience the betrayal of, you know, the parent who watched it happen. And that betrayal cuts deeper than anything, all right, than anything the aggressor ever did. Like, how does a child, you know, learn to trust the world, all right, when, you know, the people who created their world didn't protect them? Psychologically, right? Hold on one second, guys. All right, my bad. I had to do something real quick. All right. Well, listen, psychologically, like when one parent, you know, harms the other, stays quiet, right? The child learns a dangerous lesson when, you know, a dangerous lesson. My pain doesn't matter. That silence becomes a message, all right? A message that, you know, says you're on your own. A message that says your safety is optional. A message that says love doesn't include protection. And that message allows them, you know, how can I say, follows them to into adulthood, right? Into relationships, into friendships, into how, you know, they parent their own kids. Like how many adults today are still carrying wounds from a parent who never stepped in? And you're right, generational, you know, patterns and fear can paralyze a parent. Some parents, you know, stay silent because they were raised in silence. Some parents don't protect people because nobody protected them. Some parents normalize abuse because, you know, that's all they ever knew. But explanation is not an excuse. Trauma explains behavior, it does not justify it. Because once you become a parent, the responsibility shifts, right? Your healing, how can I say, becomes your child's safety. Like how long will we let generational trauma be the reason instead of the warning? Like when a child grows up in a home where one parent harms and the other parent disappears emotionally, that child learns to, you know, split themselves. They learn to survive instead of live. They learn to, you know, read danger instead of read love. They learn to shrink, to hide, to, you know, silence themselves because the adults around them taught them that speaking up leads nowhere. And that's why so many kids fall through, you know, the cracks. They were trained to be quiet. How many children are suffering in silence because silence, you know, how can I say, was modeled for them? And then the system, right? The system steps in. But the system is not built for healing. It's, you know, it's built for paperwork. It's built, you know, for, how can I say, liability. It's built for protocol. So these kids go from, you know, one unsafe environment to another, from a home that failed them to a system that fails them again. And, you know, by the time they're teenagers, society labels them problems, menaces, lost causes, when, you know, really they're just children who never, you know, how can I say, were never protected long enough to feel safe. Why do you blame the child for the consequences of adult failures? Some of these kids end up, you know, how can I say, with relatives who should never been trusted. Whether, how can I say, some of these relatives should have never been trusted with a plant alone. All right. So how can I say, how can you even trust them with a child? And that's how, you know, young souls, like I said earlier, end up in caskets or in the streets, not because they were born broken, but because every, how can I say, adult responsible for them drop the ball, and then, you know, the world acts shocked when the outcome is tragic. But tragedy is predictable, right? It's predictable when protection is optional. Like how many tragedies could have been prevented if adults simply did their job? And this is why, you know, cases like Pastor McNutt hit so hard to a lot of people, because it's not just about one man. It's about every adult who looked, how can I say, the other way. Every adult who ignored the signs. Every, you know, adult who prioritized reputation over protection. Every adult who, how can I say, chose silence over safety. And when a child is harmed, the community always asks, how did this happen? But the real question is, who allowed it to continue? See, that's the question right there. I don't know if people are scared to ask that question, but in reality, the question should be, who allowed it to continue? Who? Can't nobody answer that question. At the end of the day, right, protecting kids is not complicated. It's just uncomfortable. It requires courage. It requires breaking patterns. It requires speaking up when silence feels easier. It requires choosing the child over the adult every single time. And until, you know, we stop pretending the problem is smaller than, you know, it is, kids will keep falling right through the cracks. Are we ready to confront the adults who fail their children? Even when those adults are in our own families. And people don't do that, all right? Because that person is a part of their family. They'll decide to keep, you know, oh, snap, I got to turn the other cheek. I don't even know how to explain this. This is embarrassing. Some people hide. See, the problem starts way before the system, way before the courts, way before the headlines. The problem starts with the toxic mind. All right. How can I say, the toxic mind your business culture? And I was talking about that earlier. The culture that tells people, you know, to look away when a child is in danger. But they want to sit here, how can I say, and mind the business, right, in the pockets of a family that's doing exactly what they got to do. They'll call DHS. They'll do everything. They see this family on track. All right, well, the house may have, a fucked up wall or a broken sink. Oh my God, this child is in danger. DHS needs to be in the house. The child needs to be taken away. Oh my God. All you hear is, male Karens and female Karens. This child has a hole in their shirt. Like, dude, they was out there playing. Doesn't mean that they don't have no clothes, do nothing. House is spotless. DHS comes in, sees the house, and you know what's crazy? In some cases, they don't even give a fuck. They'll take the child. No harm, no neglect done. Food in the fridge, everything. There's nothing wrong with the child. But the ones that are going through it, DHS ignores them like that. But they'll fuck with a family that's doing what they gotta do. It's crazy, right? It starts, with that mindset. The mindset that has, how can I say, that has protected more abusers than any law has ever. People hear screaming, see bruises, notice, fear in a child's eyes, and instead of stepping in, they say, yo, that's not my place. But if protecting a child isn't your place, then whose place is it? How many children have suffered because adults, chose silence over responsibility? Don't complain about it if you ain't gonna do something about it. And boy, I'm telling you, man. When a child grows up in a home where, how can I say, where harm is happening and nobody, intervenes, their entire foundation of safety, it shatters. Home is supposed to be, how can I say, the safe place. The world, how can I say, is supposed to be the scary place. But when that flips, when the danger is inside the house and, the silence is outside, the child learns that nowhere is safe. And that kind of wound doesn't heal with age. It grows with you. How does a child build trust in adulthood when their first lesson was, how can I say, you're on your own? This is where, the complex PTSD comes from. This is where, how can I say, lifelong trust issues come from. This is where children, how can I say, become adults who never fully blossom. All right. Butterflies stuck in a cocoon, right? Because nobody protected them long enough, for them to grow wings. And we talk so much about the person who caused the harm, but we don't talk enough about the person who stood by and let it happen. That silence is, its own form of violence. Kind of like in the TD McNutt situation in Junior. Mom stood there. Let the pastor do all that. Why do we ignore the damage caused by the parent who watched instead of the parent who acted? They both are complicit in this shit. All right. When a parent doesn't protect their child, it creates a unique kind of pain called betrayal trauma. All right. It's not just fear, it's confusion, it's heartbreak, right? It's the collapse of everything a child believes about love. Because a child expects the world to, to be, how can I say, unpredictable. All right. But they expect home to be safe. When home becomes the battlefield, the damage lasts a lifetime. How do you heal from a wound that comes from the person who was supposed to shield you? And let's be real, generational patterns play a huge role. Some patterns stay silent because, they were raised in silence. Some parents don't, how can I say, intervene because nobody intervened for them. Some parents normalize abuse because that's all they, ever knew. But explanation is not an excuse. Trauma explains behavior. It does not justify it. Once you become a parent, your feelings become your child's safety. How long, will we let generational trauma be a reason, all right, instead of responsibility? The silent parent is not innocent. The silent parent is not neutral. The silent parent is not staying out of it. The silent parent is participating through inaction. All right. They are teaching the child that their pain is invisible, that their, fear is exaggerated, and that their safety is, how can I say, negotiable. And that kind of betrayal hits harder than, the abuse itself, because it becomes, how can I say, it comes from the parent the child trusted the most. Is the silent parent just as responsible as the aggressor? In my opinion, yes, but I would love to hear y'all perspectives. All right. And then, what's crazy? Like I said earlier, then boom, here comes the system. They step in. But by the time the system gets involved, the damage is already done. The child has already learned silence. The child has already learned fear. The child, how can I say, has already learned that adults can't be trusted. And the system, instead of healing, often repeats the same neglect. Kids get replaced in unsafe homes. All right. How can I say, shuffled around, ignored, overlooked, and society wonders why they grow up so angry, so withdrawn, so broken. How can a system protect children when the culture around them teaches them silence? Can we be real about that? At the end of the day, protecting children requires courage. The courage to speak up, the courage to, how can I say, intervene, the courage to break generational patterns, the courage to confront the adults who fail kids. We can't keep pretending, all right? The problem is similar. How can I say, not similar, smaller, all right, than it is. We can't keep blaming the system without acknowledging the silence in our own communities. And we can't keep ignoring the silent parent roles, all right, and the trauma. Like, are we ready to break the silence, or are we, going to keep letting children pay the price, for adult fear? And I hope I'm saying this right. I'm hoping I'm putting the words together right. All right. So let me be very clear, right? In a situation like this, Pastor McNut, all right, how can I say it? Pastor McNutt's must, all right? Accountability cannot stop, at one person. It's multiple, all right? If multiple adults were present, aware, or suspicious, and they did nothing, right, then every single one of them carries responsibility. Because there is no way I'm sending my son to anybody's house to get straightened out, especially if I see, all right, red flags. And there's no way, right? There is no way I'm staying quiet if something feels off. So when I look at this situation, the silence from the adults around this little kid Junior, it's too loud. Like, how many adults failed this child before the truth even came out? And the part that bothers me the most is, how can I say, the cover up energy coming from this family. It's inconsistencies. Like, the inconsistencies are there, the excuses, the silence, the deflection, right? When a family is this quiet, this defensive, this protective of the wrong person, something is off. Something is being hidden. Something is being protected that shouldn't be. And that's how generational harm survives, all right, through silence, denial, and loyalty to the wrong people. Like, why do families protect the predator more than the child? And that just blows my mind. And let's talk about the cousins, right? The mom and anybody else who was around. Because if you saw signs, heard things, sensed something, or even had a guilt, how can I say, not guilt, but no, you had a gut feeling and you stayed quiet, that silence becomes complicity. That silence becomes participation. That silence becomes betrayal. A child cannot protect themselves from an adult, right? That's your job. That's our job. And when adults choose silence, all right, they choose the predator. That's where, kids lose trust. Is silence any less harmful than the act itself when a child is involved? All right. Now, I'm not going to repeat anything harmful or graphic, but I will say this. All right. When you see patterns of, how can I say, secrecy, control, and manipulation in a family, that often points to a deeper dysfunction. Sometimes even generational dysfunction, even when you add a religious title on top of that. Pastor, bishop, elder. All right. The danger increases because people stop questioning. They stop looking. They stop protecting. They assume the title equals safety. But predators hide behind power because power gives them cover. Right? How many children have been harmed because a title blinded the adults around them? And that's the part that breaks my heart. Well, that tears my heart. All right. When a child is harmed, the damage is not just physical, it's psychological. All right. It's spiritual, it's emotional, it's a lifelong. Right? A child's sense of safety is shattered. Right? Their truth in adults, like in adults collapse. Right? Their ability to feel protected disappears. And when the people who were supposed to protect them, the parents, the cousins, the family, stay silent, that creates a second wound called betrayal trauma. Right? How does a child heal? Right? How does a child heal when the people, who should have protected them were the part of the danger to begin with? Like, and betrayal trauma hits different, right? It's not just something, bad happened to me, right? It's the people who were supposed to keep me safe let something bad happen to me. That kind of pain follows a child into adulthood. It becomes trust issues. It becomes anxiety. It becomes hyper, how can I say, vigilance. It becomes emotional shutdown. It becomes, how can I say, a wound that never fully closes. And that's why, I keep saying the silent parent, the silent cousin, the silent adult, they are not innocent. Why do we excuse the silent parent when their silence caused just as much damage? And let's talk about the mind. All right, the mind your business culture. Because that culture is killing kids. That culture is protecting predators. That culture is teaching children that their pain is invisible. When neighbors, family members, all right, church members, and community members, how can I say that that's not my place? They are choosing comfort over protection. They are choosing silence over safety, and the silence becomes a shield, all right, for the abuser. How many children, could have been saved if one adult had simply, how can I say, refused to mind their business? At the end of the day, this situation is not just about one man. It's about every adult who failed this child, every adult who stayed quiet, and every adult who ignored the signs, every adult who, protected the wrong person until we, how can I say, start holding all adults accountable, not just the aggressor, nothing will change because a child cannot protect themselves, right? They depend on us. And when that, how can I say, and when we fail on that, when we fail them, the damage lasts how can I say, a lifetime. Like, are we ready to confront the adults who stood by and did nothing, or are we going to keep pretending silence is innocence? I'm glad that when I got older, I confronted the adults who stood quiet. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. And I gotta give us, listen, I'm gonna get tired of saying this. I gotta give a big shout out, all right? I always call her Mama Dukes, all right? I had a social worker when I was young. All right? She was from LaSalle University. And she was one of the ones that, helped me find my strength when I was younger. She never really gave up on me. And, when my mom noticed how, that, how can I say, my mom noticed that she was really trying to help us. My mom wasn't ready to get out her comfort zone. You see where I'm coming from? And the lady really tried. My mom really tried to do her dirty. And guess what? She still kept going. She still stood in touch. And, that lady, right, that I'm speaking on right now, shout out to Ms. Arnett Gonzalez, all right? She really inspired me to pick up my first poetry book, and it was Maya Angelou. All right, she was the first person that, I'm not going to sit here and lie, explained to me was really, sex was really about what was I mean, even though my mom had some conversations with me, listen, y'all know my story. But shout out to the social worker, all right? Because there's a lot of people out here that we think aren't fighting for us, all right? And they are. Some of us don't realize it, and some of us do, and we do something about it. So I got to give her a big shout out because she really inspired me, to do a lot of things, right? And I did them. Like, I wish I would have listened to her earlier because, like a lot of people say, right? It's crazy because a lot of people say that where I'm at right now, I should have been at a long time ago. But see, I'm not where I want to be. I'm not where I want to be yet. I'm just where I'm supposed to be at, I guess. Because at one point in time, I was running off of anger, emotions, and not logic. So, everything has consequences. Pittsburgh, let me see. You're welcome. I think you meant to say thank you for the live show. You're welcome. I appreciate you, Jimmy from Mississippi. Shout out. We got Mississippi in the building. I think he said Pittsburgh, Mississippi, huh? Shout out to Mississippi, yo. Well, I'm not very baby. But listen, right? Let's talk about responsibility because I'm not gonna be much longer on this live, all right, guys. All right. I'm really not, but I want to get this all out. Because like I said, man, those that are, rocking out with a shorty before, like when I do come back, like I gotta give y'all, I gotta like listen, I gotta show y'all some love. All right. I know that on April we're gonna do a little giveaways. But I appreciate all those that come through, have a conversation with me, talk, share the lives, like, smash that like button for a shorty, help me bring awareness and more. All right. But listen, let's talk about responsibility because in this situation, like, Pastor McNuts, right? Like I said earlier, it's never just one person. Yes, the person who harmed the child carries the heaviest weight, no debate there. But the adult who stayed silent, that family who covered it up, that one who saw, the red flags and ignored them, they all played a role. It's crazy because harm doesn't happen in isolation. It happens in environments where silence, denial and loyalty to the wrong people create a shield around the predators. How many adults failed this child before the truth even came out to the light? And it's crazy that the truth wouldn't have even came out to the light if they wouldn't have did that live on the little young boy's birthday. All right. There's no way, a lot of us would send our kids to do these type of things, man. And the cover up energy in this family is too loud. Cover ups don't happen around innocent people. Cover ups happen when the truth is too ugly to face, and when a family protects the predator instead of the child, that's not family. That's a cycle of generational harm. Like, why do families protect the abuser more fiercely than they protect the victim? Something about the situation feels deeper, darker, and more twisted than, what's being said publicly. When you see secrecy and silence and loyalty to the wrong person, it often points to, once again, generational dysfunction. How many children have been harmed because of a title, can I say, a title that blinded adults to help them? This is wild. Give me a second. But let me say this, all right? Let me say this loud and clear. A lot of people don't realize how much power, right, the state has when it comes to children. Even if you're, before I even say this, right? Because we're talking about child protective services and all that, right? And I do want to end this, but before I end this, I gotta show y'all this video. Boom.
Wow.
All right, because I gotta show y'all. I gotta show y'all my boo. Like, a lot of people don't realize how much power the state has when it comes to to children. Even if you're the legal guardian, right? It kind of it's on topic, right? But it's off topic at the same time. All right, it's on topic because a lot of people don't even realize that that we're talking about social services right now, right? And DHS and all that, right? And DHS has a habit of fucking with families that are doing what they gotta do, right? And leaving the families that are harming children to the side until shit blows up, and then they gotta really intervene. But if you're a parent out here, right, and you've only obtained a certificate, never been in front of a judge, whether you're a mom or a dad, both of you gotta go to the court, right? Never been in front of a judge, right, to claim your child. I want you to understand the state has a lot of power if you don't go claim your children, right? Like, when it comes to children, even if you're the legal guardian, the state can still intervene under certain conditions, and that scares people. It makes people, it makes parents feel like they're fighting a giant machine. But here's the truth, right? The state can only step in when a judge decides the safety, right? That there, how can I say that there's a safety concern, right? And how can I say it's not automatic? It's not because you didn't claim your child, right, in court, but the fear of losing your child to a system that doesn't always protect them. That fear is real. Like, why do so many parents feel like the system is watching them instead of supporting them? And it kind of does, right? Like, let's talk about child protection services, right? CPS, DHS, however y'all want to call it, right? Because people have a lot of, how can I say, mistrust. And honestly, some of it comes from, how can I say, real experiences, right? Families have, seen kids taken. They've been taken unfairly too at that. Families have seen kids left in dangerous homes. Families have seen the system fall over, and over again. But we got to be careful not to turn, how can I say, that mistrust into misinformation. The system is flawed. right? Inconsistent and sometimes negligent, but it is not legally tied to trafficking, right? That's what they say, right? Y'all know I'm kind of censored, right? Let's flip that. Y'all know how I think now, right? The real issue is that the system is overwhelmed, right? Underfunded. And often, how can I say reactive instead of, how can I say preventative? How can a system protect children when it barely has the resources to protect itself then? That's because the system's not broken. It's doing exactly, it's not meant to protect our children. It's meant to protect, you know what? Businesses. Whoo! You know why a lot of this is happening? You know what? Let's listen to Papa Duck. Real quick. Let's listen to my boy. All right, y'all gotta hear him out.
In America, that America owns your children and you don't. Check this out.
In America, if you have a child in America, don't mean it's yours. That's how Children Family Services could come in your house and take your child at a drop of a dime. If you did not file and go to court and get legal custody of your child, that's anybody in America.
Listen.
The child is not yours.
Listen.
I done told y'all that 1,000 times.
Listen.
This is why they make you sign a birth certificate. The United States of America is just a corporation, just like any other company. So when you sign the birth certificate, you just sign your child over to the corporation. So whatever your child do, right, within the parameters or the circumference of America's soil, they are employees of America. So it doesn't matter what you go to school to do. You're helping build America. And I say this a million times. It's just people don't think about it. You can't take your work away when you die. You leave it here. Their empire. You go to be a contractor, you learn how to build malls and houses and different things. You're building their empire. You go to school to be a teacher, you just pretty much help spreading you're basically help indoctrinating the kids as a teacher. If you a doctor, you know what you're doing. You're giving people everything but a cure. So no matter what you do on American soil, you are an employee of America. And people don't see it that way. You are basically livestock. This is why they'll come and they'll take the kids from you and this and that, because they let you bathe, house, clothe, and take care of their property. And when you get out of line, don't do that, they come and snatch the kids. And you think, oh, they just looking out. As you see, look at the Epstein's file, man. They don't give a fuck about these kids. They just protecting their interests, their future interests. That's why I say this is a game. Most people don't understand how to play it. And when I say shit like this, when you think about it, it makes so much sense. But a lot of people still just ain't going to see.
They're not going to see it. That's a fact, right? And you know what's crazy? I was talking to somebody earlier, and let me just say this, right? Yes, schools get funding per student. That's true. Attendance matters because it affects budgets. But that doesn't mean, no, my bad. Let me put it like this. That means, right? That means that the government, how can I say? They say, I don't know how to put it into words. All right. They say that doesn't mean the government, right, owns your child. What it does mean is that the system is built around numbers, right? Not people, kids. All right. Kids become data points. Families become case files. And when you're dealing with a system that sees you as paperwork instead of a person, it's easy to feel powerless. How do we make a system built on numbers actually care about the humans behind those numbers? You can't. All right. And that's why, a lot of times you hear me say that, even though they say that we're a statistic, right? Nothing more than just a number, right? Our birth certificates, our social security. Just think about it. I'm trying to find the ways to say this without getting censored, striked, in the video taken down, right? All right. And the deeper issue is this. Families feel like they're, fighting institutions that don't listen. And it's true. Parents feel judged. Kids feel unheard, which is true. Communities feel targeted. And when people feel powerless, they start looking for explanation. Even extreme ones, because the truth feels too big to fight. But the real enemy isn't how can I say, some secret ownership, right? It's the lack of transparency, the lack of accountability, and the lack of support. Why does the system feel like, a threat instead of a, how can I say, of a partner to the family it claims to serve? It's because it wasn't meant to serve us, protect us. It was meant to protect the money, all right? The businesses, the people on the top. And some of those people we can't see. But if you go check out Papa Duck, he'll tell you who are, the ones in charge. And like I've told y'all before, right? And I wasn't tripping, even though some people allow you tripping, everything leads back to the Vatican. All right. 13 families. Was it that? 13 families. But y'all go do your research. And let's be honest, the fear comes from history, communities, of, how can I say, communities of color have seen children taken unfairly. They've, seen families torn apart. They've seen the system fail again and again. So when people say, united we stand, divided we fall, they're not wrong. Communities do have power when they speak up together. Change does happen when people refuse to stay silent, but that power has to be rooted in truth. All right, not fear. What would happen if communities demanded reform with facts instead of, how can I say, fighting shadows?
See it. They're still gonna say, oh, they're gonna say all kinds of shit because you brainwashed, bro. But that's why they'll come take your child. Because that's basically their property. You have to understand, when you look at the word person, a person is a sea creature, sea monster. That's why you come from sea mon.
I'm dead.
But at the end of the day, when you're that program, you don't know the difference from black or white, literally, because I told y'all the word black means pale, which basically means white.
Facts.
So when you're programmed and everything you know is what they taught you, you don't know shit. You're running around with their programming. You need to upgrade your program. Get rid of your old, what they call OS system, operating system. Upgrade, learn, read books. You know what I'm saying? Start studying etymology, astrology, numerology. Start studying the etymology of words. Start studying numbers, and this shit start making sense like a motherfucker. The word evil is live backwards for a reason. But when you tell people this, like I say, man, because people speak from the system that they've been taught.
Facts.
But I'm telling you, you can look at all the fucking evidence. These people don't care about no kids like that. Yeah, they'll tell you, I'm gonna take your mom to jail if she don't take you to school because they want you to go get brainwashed so that you could be sitting there and this shit can be floating right in front of your face and you can't see it because you're brainwashed. It's not your fault. You're operating under uneducated, what they call an uneducated. I don't want to say ignorant because the word ignorant has ignore, meaning you know it, you just ignored it. So you're ignorant to what it is. Like I'm trying to tell you, you don't have to ignore it though. But ignorance just means you don't know, and in some cases you just choose to ignore it.
But listen, let's just be real, man. People are ignorant of facts. That's all it is. They know it, but they ignore it. You're correct. You ain't gotta be soft though.
So once you start studying words, you understand words or spells. That's why you gotta be careful what you say, because if I call you a bitch, you're gonna nut up. If I say, nigga, you can't do this, I just put a spell on your ass. Because if you think about what I'm telling you and you believe it, believe what I just said, I just put a spell on you. Because if you believe you ugly, if you believe you ain't shit, if you could believe you can't do it, I captured all your energy and suppressed that shit. And you allowed it because you believed it.
Facts.
A belief is an acceptance. Go look it up. The word belief, it means you accept something. So if you believe there's a white man in the sky gonna come down and somehow save your ass when it ain't happened for your grandma and your granddaddy, how do you know? If you believe that,
Uncle Ruckus
that's your
type.
ignorance.
That's
you
what it is.
accepted it. So that means that responsibility is on you.
Facts.
I escape all karmic laws when it comes to that. Because I didn't tell you to believe it. But that's what propaganda, heavy convincing, lying, deterring, coercion, and programming will do. It'll make you believe shit. Then you caught up in a psychosis. A psychosis is where your feelings and emotions have been so impaired, you don't know the difference between what's real and what's fake.
Facts.
What's real is what you believe to be real, and what's fake is what you believe to be fake. So you're really running on your own programming, but that's why God gave your ass common sense so you could decipher between the two. But common sense just ain't so common. Exactly.
Shout out to my boy, man. He's speaking some facts, yo. For real, for real. And that's how it be, all right. Here's the part, right? Nobody want to talk about. The system benefits when people stay confused, when people don't understand their rights, when people don't, know their laws, when people don't know, how can I say, how to advocate for themselves, because confusion keeps people quiet. Confusion, right, keeps people compliant. Confusion keeps people scared, right? And scared people don't fight back. How much stronger would it, how can I say, how much stronger would we be if families actually understood the system they're up against? All right. And yes, even if you work for yourself, even if you hustle, even if you build your own lane, how can I say the government still has a hand in everything? Taxes, regulations, paperwork, licensing. All right. It feels like no matter how independent you try to be, there's always a system above you, which there is. All right. And that's why people feel like they don't truly, how can I say, own anything. But instead of, how can I say, spiraling into fear, we need to focus, how can I say, on empowerment, knowing your rights, knowing your laws, knowing how, to protect your family. Are we educating ourselves, or are we letting fear educate us? At the end of the day, the system is flawed, deeply flawed. But the solution isn't panic, right? It's power, power through knowledge, power through community, power through unity, power through demand and accountability. Because when families stand stronger, when communities speak up, when people understand, right, when they understand their rights, the system can't just do whatever it wants, right? And that's the real message. United we stand, divided we fall, but united with truth, no fear. Are we ready to fight the system, with facts, or are we going to, how can I say, let confusion keep us powerless? All right. They always are, how can I say, they are always going after the children. That's how it feels, right? And shout out to Papa Duck for always keeping it real. Because if you've been paying attention, the real question becomes, when are we going to be, how can I say, unprogrammed? How long does it take for people to wake up, to think for themselves, to stop letting systems, all right, screens and society tell them who they are? And the truth is nobody knows. There is no timeline, how can I say, for awakening. But what I do know is, right, I do know this. Once you know better, you're supposed to do better. And somehow in 2026, a lot of people are, how can I say, doing worse. Like, how can we claim to be, evolving when our behavior keeps repeating the same cycles? Look at the difference between China and I think Europe, if I'm not mistaken. And let's talk about this birth certificate conversation, because people have been debating it for years. Some folks say, it's just paperwork. Others say it's deeper. But here's the part, that always get people thinking. It doesn't say signature of parent. All right. It says signature of informant. And that wording alone makes people feel like, they're signing something over, like they're reporting something instead of claiming something. Now, legally, that's not what it means, right? But emotionally, symbolically, right? It hits different, don't it? Why does so much of our paperwork feel like it's designed to distance us from our children? People don't peep that. They don't even ask the questions. Hola. And then when you hear people talk about, law of water, right? Maritime, right? Maritime. I don't know how you say it. Maritime. When I read it all the time, it comes out. It feels like I'm reading a Spanish word, but I could be saying something. But to me, it says maritime. All right, it's the maritime law. All right. The maritime law products ownership and all that. And listen, I'm not saying I believe every theory out there, but I am saying this. People question systems, right, when systems don't feel trustworthy. People question documents when documents feel confusing, right? People question authority when authority feels, how can I say, inconsistent. And that's human. That's survival. That's people trying to understand a world that doesn't always make sense. Why do we shame people for questioning systems that have failed them? And I'm going to be real. This isn't, this is just my opinion, right? This is just how, my mind works. This is just how I think and feel. I'm letting y'all roam in the mind of a shorty, right? Who grew up watching systems fail kids, fail families, fail communities. So when I question things, it is not because I'm trying, how can I say, to be deep. It's because I've seen so much to just accept everything at face value. And I know I'm not the only one. Like, how many of us question the system because we live through the consequences of trusting it? But let's keep it grounded too, right? Because while some theories go too far, the feeling behind them is real. All right. Parents feel powerless. Families feel unheard. Communities feel targeted. And when people feel powerless, they start looking for explanations, even the extreme ones, because the truth feels too big, right, for them to fight. But the real issue isn't, secret ownership or hidden laws. The real issue is lack of transparency, the lack of support, and the lack of accountability that we have around us. Right? How do we fix a system people don't trust when the system won't admit it's broken, right? Like they say, it's broken is the plea, but is it broken? And that part truly gets me, right? The part that truly gets me is that, we're in 2026 instead of the people waking up, right? A lot of folks are getting more worse, more distracted, more divided, more programmed, more dependent on screens, trends, and narratives that don't save them. And that's how can I say, and that's why the questions. When will we, when will we be unprogrammed? That question hits people so hard because unprogrammed takes, awareness. The awareness takes effort. Are we people, are people really asleep, or are they, choosing comfort over consciousness? And I feel as though that some people are choosing comfort while others are choosing consciousness. Right? And let's talk about unity real quick, because united we stand, divided we fall is not just a quote, it's a warning. Systems stay powerful when people stay divided. Families stay vulnerable when they don't communicate. Communities stay weak when they don't organize, and kids stay unprotected when adults stay silent. All right. So when I say we need to stand together, I'm not talking rebellion. I'm talking responsibility. I'm talking awareness. I'm talking, community. What would happen if people united around truth instead of fear? This question can't nobody answer. All right. At the end of the day, everything I'm saying, it's just my perspective. The mind of a shorty who grew up questioning everything because nothing ever made sense the way it should have. And I'm not telling y'all what to believe. I'm telling y'all to think, to question, to pay attention, to protect your kids, to understand your rights, to stop letting confusion control you. Because once you know better, you're supposed to do better. Shout out to Maya Angelou. And it's time, all right? It's time for people to start doing better for real. Like, are you thinking for yourself, or are you letting the world think for you? And I feel as though that in a lot of situations, a lot of people are letting people think for them. But, that's all that I wanted to put out here, man. I've already, we're about to hit 4 hours, man. Shout out to Mr. O. Shout out to, Jimmy and whoever else. Miss V was in the chat. All right. Shout out to Miss V. Make sure y'all go check her out. Great conversations, great topics. All right. But we're going to get off this, John, man. I'll see y'all in a month, man. Thank you to all the ones that share my videos. I'm going to keep y'all, how can I say, up to date with videos, uploads. I'm going to keep uploading poetry, and I'll pop up from time to time and do a quick live on the vertical. All right. But for right now, I'm going to finish my book, publish that, John, and do what I got to do, man. We all got to work. We all got to take care of family. And, I'm doing all of it. I'm working, taking care of family, and putting in that community work. So with that being said, we out.
Yeah, we living in a world where the rules don't apply. They say we gotta follow, but we ready to fly. System got us boxed in. trying to keep us small. But we rise like the phoenix, we ain't scared to brawl. They feeding us lies, but we see through the smoke. We're the voice of the people, we're ready to provoke. They want us to divide, but we're stronger as one. Breaking chains, taking names, yeah, we getting it done. It's us versus the system, we're breaking the mold. Fist in the air, yeah, we taking control. No more silence, no more fear. Together we rise, let them know we're here. Riders ignite. In the world of division, they showed us how to share. But the weight of our sorrows, they never taught us to bear. We split our joys and laughter, but the pain remained untold. A burden we carry alone, a story left untold. They taught us to split everything, but not the heavy pain. He lingers in the shadows, a darkness we can't explain. We're left with shattered pieces, trying to mend what's lost. They taught us how to split everything, but not the heavy cost. We learned to divide our dreams and multiply our fears, but the ache in our hearts only grew with passing years. They gave us all the answers, except how to heal. The scars that run so deep, wounds that time can't seal. Yeah, they taught us how to share, but only the good. Smiles and laughter like we understood, but deep down inside, there's a storm we hide. Pain in our hearts, we're just trying to ride. Put on a mask, yeah, we play the part, but nobody sees the cracks in the hearts. We share our dreams, the highs and the lows, but when it comes to hurt, we just close the doors. We share the fun times, deflect the pain, laughing in the sunshine, dancing in the rain. But the shadows linger, they creep and they crawl, breaking us down, but we don't share at all. We got hate in our hearts, but we keep concealed. Taught to share the joy, but wounds, they stay unhealed. They say love was easy to divide, but the heartache never subsides. We tried to split everything into two, but the pain lingers strong and true. Shared our dreams, divided our fears, but the sorrow remained through the years. No matter how we tried to let go, the weight of our suffering continued to grow. Now we're apart trying to heal, but some wounds are too deep to conceal. They said splitting up will set us free, yet the pain lingers in you and me. In a world where rules are set in stone, the system's grip tightens, we're not alone. Bound by chains of injustice greed. Against the odds, we fight to be free. Mighty forces try to keep us down, but our spirits rise, refusing to drown. Defying norms, breaking through the mold. In this battle of wills, our story is told. As the clash continues day by day, we stand united, come what may. For in this world where rules don't apply, our strength and unity will never die. They try to silence our dreams, but we're loud and clear. With every step forward, conquering fear, they can't hold us back. We're the fire and the flame in this battle for freedom. We're all in the game. They say it's just a game, but we're playing for keeps. With the strength of the many, we're shattered elites. No more puppets on strings, we're cutting the ties. With our eyes on the prize, we're reaching for the skies. So let's stand together, let's break down the walls. In this fight for our future, we'll answer the calls. From the ashes, we'll rise like a storm. Riders ignite, it's us versus the system, and we're ready to fight. They build the walls, but we're digging tunnels. With every step we take, we're shaking the bundles. From the streets to the courts, we're raising our voice. In a world full of noise, we're making the choice. They want to keep us blind, but we see the light. Knowledge is power, and we're ready to fight. From the corners of the city to the halls of the state, where the heartbeat of the struggle can't afford to wait. It's us versus the system, we're breaking the mold. It's in the air, yeah, we're taking control. No more silence, no more fear. Together we rise, let them know we're here. Riders ignite. They taught us to split everything, but not the heavy pain. It lingers in the shadows, a darkness we can't explain. We're left with shattered pieces, trying to mend what's lost. They taught us how to split everything, but not the heavy cost. Now we stand here broken, searching for some light, hoping for a way out of this never-ending night. But through it all, we find strength in each other's embrace. Together we'll face tomorrow and find solace in this space. They say don't bring the drama, keep it all light, but every night I'm fighting these demons in sight. Whispers in my mind, yeah, they echo when they shout. While I'm smiling on the surface, I'm breaking without. We're sharing the laughter, but what's underneath? A battlefield of sorrow, a war with no peace. We're warriors in silence, but nobody knows how the pain that we carry just grows and it grows. In a world of lessons learned, they taught us how to stand and burn. But the scars we hide deep inside are the ones that never subside. We followed all the rules they made, but the emptiness never fades. Their wounds like knives, cutting through, leaving wounds that always grew. They painted pictures of success, but couldn't fix what's left from us. Now we're left to bear the strain of the pain that lingers, never wanes. It's us versus the system, we're breaking the mold. It's in the air, yeah, we're taking control. No more silence, no more fear. Together we rise, let them know we're here. Riders ignite. To remember this moment, remember this face, remember this sound. We're the voice of the future. And we won't back down. In the face of oppression, we'll stand up tall. It's us versus the system, and united we'll fall. Riders show how we unite.